Okay, guys, I I should have known this was going to happen. The patch was announced on Twitter like an hour ago. This is it. Dawnbreaker. Oh god, the music's too loud. Oh god. Oh god. How could this happen? Oh no. Oh no. It's still too it's still too loud. Eh. Alright, that'll do. Is this going to work? Okay, cool. So right off I'm going to say this looks like Yrel from Warlords of Draenor. If you know, you know. Okay. Introducing Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker shines in the heart of battle, happily crushing enemies with her celestial hammer and using the energy released to heal nearby allies. Has the carry and durable tags, so it's actually meant to be a carry, because Hoodwink didn't have the carry tag. She has a 2.0 base attack time, so at 1 with the mass of her weapon, she revels in hurling her hammer through multiple foes and then converging with it in a blazing wake. Created to rival ancient forces of chaos and darkness by descendants of the First Light. So she's affiliated with Coddle, that makes sense. Dawnbreaker only taps her true cosmic power to fly to the aid of her teammates, easier to rout her enemies on the battlefield no matter where they may be. Alright, let's see. Darkness fears the break of dawn. In the eons after the Keeper's exodus birthed the Age of Light, some amongst the first Sun's lineage began to align against the chaos their ancestors' maker left chasing in his wake. So she's going to be good against CK. Calling themselves the Children of Light, they saw no one else as worthy of taking up the Keeper's abandoned mantle, and they yearned to beat back the onslaught of darkness, creating glorious armies built to purge the cosmos of all creatures of primordial night. I'm sorry, this does feel a lot like, Legion? Like, the Army of Light in Warcraft. That's fine though. Valora the Dawnbreaker, most prized warrior amongst the children's ancient creations, is the shining herald of the majesty of order and light. Molded from the heart of a young metallic star, and charged by golden breath with new life, Valora was called to spread the glow of the children's wisdom to the darkest reaches of the universe, setting fire to the heavens with each swing of her celestial hammer amidst the endless battle to keep chaos at bay. That's metal. Okay. Starbreaker, Dawnbreaker, whirls her hammer around 3 times, damaging enemies with her attack and bonus damage. On the final strike, she smashes her hammer down, stunning and damaging enemies in front of her, and it looks like a crit. It might not be, but it looks like it. Celestial Hammer. Dawnbreaker hurls her weapon at a target, damaging enemies struck along the way. The hammer pauses briefly at the destination before flying back to her, leaving a blazing trail that slows enemies. Dawnbreaker can recall the hammer at any time, pulling her towards it so they meet in the middle. Cool, it does a little damage. Mostly slow, I guess. I guess it cancels Blink too. Luminosity. After 3 attacks, Dawnbreaker powers up, charging her next attack with a critical hit that heals all allied heroes around her for a portion of attack damage dealt. And it has that much radius? Oh damn. Okay. And it scales with attack speed. Solar Guardian, Dawnbreaker creates a pulsing effect at a location near an allied hero anywhere on the map, damaging enemies and healing allies with each pulse. After a short duration, she flies to the target location, dealing additional damage and stunning enemies upon landing. Holy shit, global presence. That is so cool. Can I look at the numbers? Detailed stats. Hero detail page. Okay. Really good starting HP. Good stats. This has no support. Normal base attack time. Not good turn rate. Good speed, decent armor, really good damage. Physical damage. 360 swipe radius is big. Swipe bonus damage, so just damage on base minor damage on attacks. Smash bonus damage. So it's not a crit. It's just bonus damage. That's cool. Celestial Hammer, so it does damage, presumably both times. Like when she calls it and when she, like, throws it initially. Fire Trail duration, radius, that's a good slow. Sure. Doesn't go through spell immunity. This does. Luminosity, this goes through spell immunity too. 40%? 50% less on creeps? That's crazy. Or 50% as much, I guess. Land radius 400. Not great. Like, the damage and healing is, like, not that significant. The stun, I mean, it is fairly long cooldown, but probably not long enough. Actually, no. This actually seems fine. It's normal base attack time. So you build... I mean, Radiance if you want to be a meme. Since that's very on brand. It might be the build. Because this doesn't really help with attack speed, but this does. It's after 3 attacks. So yeah, every 4th attack. So you do want attack speed. I don't know, maybe Mjolnir or something? Daedalus. Survivability so she can keep healing. That's really cool. Okay. Let's move on. Look at these wallpapers. That's cool. I'm gonna open the next one in a new tab. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Like, the hero ones are cool and all, but damn. It's cool. Alright. Yes, okay, so there were no map updates in 7.28, so there had to be here. I mentioned that in my patch review for that one. The battlefield is a fundamental aspect of Dota, so modifications to the terrain can have a large impact on the game. Yeah, no kidding. Today's update includes a variety of changes to the map, including moving outposts to stand more prominently in the primary jungle, nice, moving ward cliffs, and adjusting the position of neutral camps and various paths around the map. You can check out the changes. Wow. This is such an improvement off what before, because it was just a description before. Okay, so previous version. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it felt weird. There's only like... Yeah, this is really nice. This is reminiscent of previous jungles. They moved the bounty in slightly. Yeah. Fairly minor, but... Wow. That really helps mid. It helped... Yeah, okay. It's also another ganking route to get around the tier 1 and gank mid. Okay. Oh. You can't double pull anymore. Oh, no, you can. They just moved it there. Interesting, so that's going to be easier to take for the offlaner, harder to contest from the safe laners. And the outpost is completely out in left field. Okay. Primary Radiant jungle. Oh, I like that a lot better. Yeah, the farming route just feels more natural here, I think. You know, I always warded right here because there are stairs right here. I always warded here, so I'm actually really a big fan of this ward. It's really cool. It did feel a little bit too out of the way. Okay, Dagger. Wow. That is a really nice farming route, although it's a lot more symmetrical than it used to be. So maybe more balanced. Radiant has always had a, not always, but often they have an advantage when farming. Okay. The triangle's a little harder to farm. The large camp is a little more dangerous. That's okay. Dire safe lane. That's a big difference. Especially the trees right here. The trees right here... It seems like the ramp is less pronounced. It's not clear. It's a lot easier to farm this as the safe laner. It feels much safer. Okay. Radiant top ward spot. There just is one now, and there's no bounty rune. So they might have straight up removed it. Probably not. Yeah, they just moved the ward spot way over here. Direbot ward spot? Thank you. This ward spot was a trap. Okay, cool. Tier 1 and Tier 2 areas. That's a lot more trees. In, you know, fortifications back in the day, you would try to cut back the forest substantially, like up to thousands of feet away from a castle's wall, so that it would be harder to approach it without being seen. This is actually the same principle. This is so different. That's really cool. There's a lot more juke paths over here as well. Radiant mid tier 2. Again, more juke paths. They moved the tower a little bit to the right, more central. Yeah, it was really easy to just stand the fuck over here and the tower wouldn't hit you. Now that's not the case. Okay. Radiant bot 2-2. I like moving the tower into the middle of the lane instead of the top left. And there's just more juke spots. That's cool. Better top tier 2. Again, lots more juke spots. And they move the camp. And the stairs are at more of an angle here. Narrower. Okay. This tower's in the same place, but there's a lot more trees. A lot more. That's cool. Not a huge difference. They moved this camp a little as well. Dire bot. Okay, so they actually did the opposite with this one. They moved it less into the middle of the lane. But there's more trees, so it's the same difference. And there's not a ward spot there. I mean, this is still a ward spot. That's a good one. Mid. That's the least significant change. That's cool, though. We can take... Oh, wait, actually, let me look top right. Yeah, not that significant there. Okay, general updates. Oh, that's a new rune. Maybe. Okay, it's watery. I'm going to predict it maybe makes you faster in the water or something. Okay, terrain updated with various changes added. Water power rune. Spawns at both power rune locations at only minute 2 and 4. Both. Instantly restores 100 health and 80 mana when used. Can be used to fill bottles, starting at 6 minutes power rune spawn, as usual on one side. That completely changed mid. I'm no mid player. It's the one lane that I don't really like playing. But damn, that's really significant. It makes bottle worse a little bit. Okay. Added +2 attributes leveling for up to 7 times for the 7 empty levels from 1 to 26, and can be leveled in any order via clicking the talent tree circle. They will automatically be leveled if there are no other options available. Level 30 no longer grants all remaining talents. Instead, these levels will grant you the talents. That is so much better. Holy shit. So you get the level 10, then the level 15, then the level 20, then the level 25. So 26 is still nothing, but it is an attribute level up. Okay. So you get to choose which attribute. Like, for instance, back in the day, you would, I guess pre-Reborn, I don't know if this was a thing in Reborn, it's been a while, you would level up stats on Anti-Mage quite a bit early. And then they removed that, and it kind of made Anti-Mage a little worse, but there were a ton of other changes at that time. I think that stopped being a thing maybe in 7.0, I'm not sure. It's been a while, like I said. I really like the attribute level, so it's +2 attributes, you choose which attribute. Right? Or is it +2 all attributes? Can be leveled in any order. Okay. Outposts no longer give XP. They now provide XPM while controlled. No extra XP granted when controlling 2. Compared to the previous version, XP given per player is a little lower, but it's constant. The XP is provided on the minute mark. Okay, so instead of every 10 minutes, it's every 1 minute. Yeah, it felt like unless you were teleporting to that area, having the outpost was pretty much totally insignificant except at the 10-minute mark, so you were just trying to snipe at them. This feels a lot more staggered, it's nice. Yeah, this is just straight improvement. The amount you get for each minute at the start is... That's fine, it's not a lot. Bounty runes after the initial set are reduced by 10%, so they're gold. Bounty runes no longer spawn in the river. The amount these runes gave is now provided automatically over time through GPM. Okay, how are they buffing Alchemist? My boy. Okay. Bounty runes now spawn every 3 minutes in their respective jungle area. Okay. They don't have to replace that much, then. Every 3 is... Okay. Bounty runes no longer disappear when new ones spawn. Wow. That's a big change. I like that. It's just quality of life, really. At minute 0, bounty runes spawn in the jungle and at the power rune locations. Interesting. They spawn at the power rune location, so it's still 4 total at the start. That's cool. I'm glad they've split bounty and power runes. It was cancer before when you would get a bounty rune. Various cast ranges and movement speed talents, items, abilities have been replaced or toned down. These are included in line with the item and hero sections below. Cast ranges and movement speed talents, items, abilities. So are they removing cast range from talents like they removed GPM? Hero kill assist gold now adjusted based on the relative net worth difference between the two teams. For example, if your team is down 5,000 gold and the enemy has 50,000 total net worth, your assist gold will be worth 10% more. This is just additive. They didn't change anything, they just added this. That's nice. Comebacks are easier. Heroes now start the game with 1 TP scroll rather than 3. Rip techies. Heroes now gain 1 TP scroll on death. Wow. That is a huge buff to supports. And a big nerf to techies. At the start, it's actually a buff to techies because you can suicide and immediately come back in. That's really cool. TP scroll cost. Okay, heroes. No one has a perfect turn rate. And they made turn rate more significant. And they, 0.5 is not 0.6. Okay. Ag Scepter, Roshan drop now requires you to activate it to consume it. Has no effect until consumed. An Ag Shard now drops on the second Roshan kill, and only that one. And you still have to activate it. So you can give it to someone else instead of it being whoever picks it up. Unless you picked it up in your backpack. Then you could drag it to someone else. Increase building teleportation range from 575 to 800. Wow. That gives a lot more radius for like tactical placement of TPs. Outpost teleport base channel time reduced. Outpost vision reduced. Fine. It's more central. Before its vision was mostly trees and it didn't have flying vision. Now it's in the center, so that's actually a buff of vision. Captain's mode, initial picking phase changed from first, second to first, second, first. That's fair. Hoodwink is captain's mode. Wonder what they changed. Hoodwink wasn't that insane. Couriers no longer have vision when inside Roche Pit. That's really good design. You can't check Roche Pit. Well, wards can now be denied from full health by any allied player if the ward is placed in a spawn camp bot. Wow. That's really good quality of life. That's anti-griefing to the extreme. And ancient neutral creeps armor increased by 1 except for golems. I was about to say, did you really buff golems? But no. Neutral items now fly towards the killing hero rather than spawning under the dead unit. That's really nice. You'd have to walk toward it. Sometimes you wouldn't realize and you'd have to turn around. Yeah, that's nice. Hero ban count for matchmaking increased by 6. Wow. Buyback cost reduced from 200 plus net worth divided by 12 to 200 net worth divided by 13. Interesting. Okay. A little cheaper. Courier respawn time reduced 6 times level. Okay. Backdoor protection damage reduction increased. Wow. Hero to hero item transfer range increased. That's nice. Okay. Tree respawn interval reduced from 5 to 3 minutes. Wow, way more. Way more trees. Following abilities no longer destroy trees. Earth Splitter, Mortimer Kisses, Meteor Hammer, Wow, Meteor Hammer doesn't destroy trees. Macropyre. Macropyre doesn't destroy trees? Reduce the radius of tree destruction on these. That's fair. Okay, wow. Shared tangos now expire after 40 seconds. Pango pooling has been removed from the strategy phase UI. That's fair. So you can't pool the tango with mid anymore. That's good design. That Flux support What? But Enigma? What? You can't do that. Listen, Valve, please. Volvo. Volvo, please. What? You can't... Okay. They can. Cooldown reduced from 35 to 25 on Satanic. Whoa. Can no longer be dispelled. Oh my god. See, I used to dispel that as all the time. Okay. Now plays a basic spell. Wow. That is the... Wow. The active really matters now. Because before, you really had to BKB when you say Satanic if they had any way to dispel in the enemy team, even fucking Yules. Like, it was really bad. This is crazy. Wow. Okay. Battle Fury. Mana regen reduced. That's totally justified. Creep cleave a little worse. Cool. They buffed Meteor Hammer? Did they nerf OD? Stun duration reduced. That's fine. Building damage per second increased. That's a buff. Like, straight up. Okay. No longer has a blink, now melee ability. Thank you. And they made it cheaper. Yeah, that was just really OP. Movement speed reduced on Tranquil's fine. Cast range reduced on Yules by 25. Okay, that's just rounding off the numbers to make them prettier. Movement speed on Boots Travel reduced. And yeah, that's fine. Swift Blink no longer ignores movement speed limit. Great, that's balanced. Aether Lens, cast range reduced. Octarine, okay, same. Sentries cost cheaper, but less radius and true sight, so you have to place them better. You're less likely to get 2 wards. There were a lot of locations on the map where you would get 2 wards fairly often. Manta, melee illusions incoming damage reduced. Ranged is the same as melee. Cooldown is the same as melee. What? They still do less damage. That is such a crazy change. Wow, Medusa, Drow, all of these heroes just got so buffed. That feels really good. It always felt really weird that was the case. It felt unnecessary to me from the start. Manta's way better now. I mean, S and Y is crazy, but the status resist. I hope they add status resist to other stuff or remove it from the fucking game. Armor increased 5 to 6. Wow, it was already a value stat item. Whoa, it drains less. Okay, Armlet CK was less of a thing, but it's gonna be a thing again. Oh, wow, energy booster's cheaper. Vitality booster's cheap. Oh, that's been that way forever. Recipe cost increased by a lot on heart. Okay. Aether Lens recipe increased, and this goes. Okay. They just wanted to increase the cost of heart, because Vitality Booster... Believe it or not, there are not 4 Vitality Boosters in heart, as it turns out. Bkb Cooldown increased. Okay, 75 is a nicer, rounder number. So you never get a 10-second BKB, and you never have less than a 6-second BKB. That's really cool. I like that. 5 seconds was too short, 10 seconds was too long. It's less of the end-all be-all, but still the end-all be-all. Let's be real. Duration reduced, fine. Cost increased on bottle, that's fair because there's the river runes that are insane. Mana regen reduced, HP regen reduced, that's fine. Headdress now provides an extra 0.5 HP regen to the holder. Now provides more regen to the holder, that's fair, cool. Buckler gives 1 armor to the holder. Great, that's good design. Mech Aura, okay, cool. Oh, Veil Mana Aura, okay. Mana regen increased. Recipe reduced. Wow, okay. Palads is crazy. Ring of Regen replaced with Fluffy Hat. Oh, that's way better for supports. The regen was so insignificant on a support. The amount of damage supports take proportionate to their health made that amount of regen not matter. That's really nice. Okay. Hurricane Pike now has... Yeah, that's also better for Hurricane Pike. The 2 health regen was a joke. And it has more in. Cool. Mana break damage per mana burned increased from 80% to 100%. That's big. Mana break on melee illusions reduced, but not ranged. Agility increased, int increased. That's a big buff to range diffusal. What are they planning? Okay. Solar Crest recipe changed to Medallion, Crown, Windlace, and 900 gold recipe. That's so cheap. Armor reduced, stats reduced a lot. Active reduced, attack speed reduced. That's such a big buff. Solar Crest was way too expensive for supports, so this makes sense. This is a big buff. You can buy Solar Crest on supports. And it's worse by a lot on non-supports, because it's just a cheap item and you want to stack more expensive items. Block chance on Vanguard increased, block chance on Abyssal increased, block chance on Crimson Guard increased, and they didn't reduce the block itself proportionally. All these reduced by 5. Cool. Bracer, more HP regen. Yasha gives less attack speed. Kaya gives way more mana regen amp. Whoa. Kaya sucked before. This is a big buff. Okay. Okay. Agility increased on Dragonlance. Wow, they really want ranged... They want Drow to be an illusion hero again. Who else? Morphling likes Dragonlance and Manta. Less so Dragonlance, but maybe more so now. Mech, mana cost reduced? Whoa. You can buy that on way more offlaners now. Recipe cost of Mage Slayer reduced? Wow. Okay. Recipe cost of Blade Mail reduced. Echo Saber strength increased. CK. Helm bounty reduced. Whoa. Renamed Helm of the Overlord. And this is Helm... Oh. Gotcha. They should have had this here. And now dominated to 2 units, 150 bounty each. That's really good. That's way better than it was before. It was not a big enough upgrade. Okay, Shadowblade. Cooldown reduced. Silver Edge, more mana regen, more int bonus. This is real. They're buffing the shit out of ganking ranged heroes. Okay. Rapier no longer gives True Strike, gives more damage. MKB has higher proc chance. Mjolnir chain lightning damage. Stack charge damage increased. Nice. Mjolnir was struggling a slight bit. Soul Ring, recipe cost reduced. Peckies. And a lot of other heroes. Bonus damage on Claim Blade reduced, fine. But, again, not on ranged heroes. Whoa. That's a big Silencer buff. Silencer's been struggling. It might be an OD buff, but he builds Meteor Hammer currently. Shiva, cooldown reduced. That's cool. Urn gives less mana. Scythe is lower cooldown. I guess it was uncommonly bought recently. Talisman of Evasion cost reduced. Veil. Cast range increased by a lot. Holy Lucket. Whoa! That's crazy. You were getting a free charge every 15, now you're getting it every 10? That's way more significant. Okay. Minimum damage threshold increase. Thank God. It procced for anything. Wind Waker. Cooldown reduced by a lot. Cast range increased by a lot on Dagon. Recipe cost reduced. That's substantial since there are 5 fucking recipes. Ato's projectile speed increased. Gleipnir. I think that's how you pronounce that. Also increased. That's cool. Recipe cost on Bloodthorn reduced. Mangoes can be sold. Smoke is dispelled by the fountain. So you can't smoke from the fountain anymore. I guess you have to be more obvious. Okay, neutral items. Royal Jelly, RIP, that's fine. Broom Handle, better. They really want Ocean Heart to be good. Alan loves this item. Health regen increased. Wow. Yeah, I mean, these numbers were pretty low. No drops of mango instead of a TP, that's fair. Big nerf, though. Well, they can be sold. Philosopher's Stone. More GPM. People's Gift. Good. Magic resistance reduction and growth bow increase, that's more significant. Bullwhip. Less mana, that's the main thing. Quicksilver Amulet. Yeah, needs lots of nerfs. It got more attack speed and more attack animation. I like that. They made some things worse and some things better. The less significant aspects, well, this is kind of just a buff. Yeah, it's just a buff. Mindbreaker, silence duration. Fine. It's a lot better. Psychic Headband. Yeah. Okay, these changes are pretty... Oh wow, that's a lot better. That's cool. I like that. Can't hurt. Slight Telescope nerf. Illusion bonus damage reduced. Wow, why? Spell Prism all stats. Yeah, that's too much. That's fair. Movement speed reduced of Flicker. Now always goes forward. That's so much better. Leveler gives armor, so it's even better at sieging. Cool. The attack speed was a little overkill. This is not enough of a buff. Especially now that smoke is dispelled by the fountain. Trickster Cloak can be used in channeling abilities. It can be dispelled. Provides phase movement. How's the sec? Oh, okay. Kind of breaks even. No, it is a little better, actually. You can use it as a Glimmer Cape for people that channel stuff. Thank you. This item was underpowered. It's not anymore. Maybe slightly. I don't know. It's pretty good. A lot better. Force Boots give HP regen. Reveal cooldown on Seer Stone. Reduced. Never been able to use that. Book of the Dead. Cooldown reduced. Unit damage increased. 8-second cooldown. Book of Shadows is crazy. Okay. Hero updates. The meat of the patch. Alright. A lot left to go. Okay. Abaddon. Or Abaddon, sorry. Been saying Abaddon for years. Base health regen increased. That's really nice. He's... I don't know. I hope they make him buy it more valuable as an offlaner. Now also reduces Miscoil and Aphotic Shield cooldowns by 1 second. Wow. That's crazy. You're buying that in every game now. Backswing on Miscoil reduced? Okay. Sure. Rescaled. Self-damage is now 50%. That's more sensible. Backswing on Aphotic Shield reduced as well. Mana cost increased. Fine. There's a lot more mana going around. Scepter duration increased. Further. Wow. Okay. Miscoil. Okay. This isn't crazy significant, but he's better at using the abilities he's supposed to spam. Mana's a little more of a problem, but not that much. Alright. They nerfed Alchemist? Okay, that's fair. He's kind of broken. Mana cost of Ice Vortex reduced? Fair. Cooldown increased? Fair. Scepter reduces mana cost by 50%? Holy fuck. Okay. Jesus. God help us. Oh, wow. Why? That's unholy. You can't do that. He's just going to be spamming that shit. You can do that on a support. Oh, no. Okay. Reworked Shard now causes Blink to have plus 300 range and reduces cooldown by 2. Wow. Okay, no gimmicks. That's a really big buff. I guess they're removing the talent. Mana Void is cheaper earlier. It just scales differently. Okay. Fragment, Scepter Illusion, incoming damage reduced, and outgoing damage increased. That's pretty crazy. Alright. 0.6% max mana burn. That's a big buff. Plus 1 second Mana Void stun. I like that they're making Mana Void better. I'm a fan. Magic resist from the shard way higher, also slows. Might buy that now. That's a lot of magic resistance. Axe, attack point reduced. Can't hurt. Okay. Scepter upgrade, cooldown reduction 2 to 3. Wow. Shard now also increases proc chance by 10%. Okay, well they also made it a separate proc chance for... Well, there's no cooldown. Like, the cooldown isn't shared between attacks and just the getting attacked. That was the biggest problem with it before. This is a... Yeah, that's worth buying. 100%. Just for that. Attack speed removed. Fine. No one bought it. Reworked Shard upgrade. Causes Brain Sap to become a 550 target AoE spell. It's a lot of sappage. Ags. Reduces cooldown by 45 seconds. and causes Fiend's Grip to create 2 and control illusions. 2! Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Fiend's Grip is the main ability it needs. It deserves an Ag's Scepter, and Brain Sap definitely doesn't deserve. Yeah, okay, this is a huge Bane buff. Backswing of Brain Sap reduced, baseline. Enfeeble, attack damage reduction increased by a bit. Wait, a lot early. Wow. 1 point into this is so good now? Oh my god. Okay, the cooldown is pretty long though. So you do want to max it out. That's good design. Yeah, really good design. The duration is way higher. Okay, yeah. Enfeeble's really good. Brain Sap cooldown. That's... Wait, is Bane a... Okay, if you have 2 illusions that are channeling it, is Bane a mid? He can farm now. It's an AoE target spell. It is an 11-second cooldown. Probably not. Probably not. I'm not ruling it out though, because he doesn't have to channel it entirely himself if he has Scepter. A really low cooldown too. Like, what's the cooldown of that ability? Yeah, it's literally going to be a 55-second cooldown. Okay, yeah, Bane is fucking crazy. Batrider's Shard. Flamebreak has 2 charges and applies Sticky Napalm charge on impact. Whoa. Flamebreak is so much better now. You can actually use it, like, more offensively instead of just knocking people around. Backswing reduced, range reduced. Debuff no longer stacks with multiple instances, but adds to the duration. That's fine. Backswing of Lasso reduced. That's actually a big buff. Damage per second increased. Okay, it's actually significant. Not that significant, but... And now magic resist. Yeah, he just needs more beef. This gives him that. Cool. He doesn't have the ancient farming cheese, so makes sense. Beastmaster, more base armor. Okay. Why? This hero is a god at man fighting. Dive Bomb Shard no longer grants free hawk control. That sucks. Okay, whoa, that's a long cast range. Stun duration increased. Shard damage. Well, okay, the damage increased. Can also target couriers. That is answer. I mean, you can't really control the hawk, but also lowers the cooldown of the hawk. Oh my god. Okay, that's actually going to be bought. Wow. That active is so much stronger. I assume it just was never used. Scepter also increases damage. Mana cost reduced. Baseline. Wow. I don't know if this hero is viable, though. I mean, these are big buffs. Really big buffs. But the hero was Necrobuck. Okay, more damage. Plus 300 health to Beastmaster controlled units. That's respectable. Minus 35 seconds primer roll. Okay. More attack speed. 4% wild access damage. Okay. Okay. This percentage damage taken. Okay. He's still not... Okay, actually primer roll cooldown is pretty insane. Like... That's literally no cooldown. I'm actually going to go on a limb and say this here is probably viable. I mean, his boars were really strong. He's going to be a lot worse at just straight up killing heroes out of nowhere. But he has a different gimmick, so... Alright. Blood Rage backswing reduced. Nice. He has to stop for less time. Or, I guess, interrupt actions. Current damage, that makes so much more sense. It actually does damage. I was always wondering what caused them to rupture. It has to be a significant wound to it to actually rupture some shit. That makes so much more sense. I'm so happy with this. Also, it cancels blink. Nice. It's pure as well. These are nice buffs. Okay, Shard on Bounty Enter. 40% reduced incoming damage while invisible. Attacking out of invisibility stuns for a second, lowers cooldown by 5 seconds. That's a big buff. Slow no longer pierces spell immunity. So I guess they tied the stun to the slow. I guess the stun just doesn't go through spell immunity either. I could be wrong. That's a really big buff though. He often got hit by incidental stuff. You can use that. You can use Shadow Walk to survive even if they have Dust now. 40% damage reduction is crazy. Might be more of a core. He's good at carrying auras. Okay. Brewmaster base movement speed increased. That's fine. Passive evasion slightly increased. It was really insignificant. Split, time split reduced. Storm has more health. Fire has a lot more health. He was a squishy boy. Earth had a little more health. Void has a little more health. Shard cooldown for Astral Pulse reduced by a lot. Okay, that's actually going to be bought now. It was just too long. He didn't really do anything else. Thunderclap AoE at level 10. 200? Wow, that's going to be taken every fucking time. Versus 15, yeah, you take that every time, right? Maybe not. Drunk Umbrella is really good. It wasn't even a question before, though, so it's an improvement. Base mana regen increased. Why? Base damage increased. Stack damage reduced. These are round numbers, like a sensible person. Scepter removes cast time. They really want this AoE Hazel Goo meme. I bought that shit right when it came out. When it was the worst it's ever been, and I loved it, and it worked, and it was beautiful. It's so much better than it was before. He has mana regen. Yeah, okay. That's a huge buff. Incapacitating Bite has been removed. Wow, okay. I'm assuming there's a change to the ult as well. Okay, agility increased by 4. They didn't reduce base damage to compensate. Spawn Spiderling buff debuff duration increased from 5 to 20. Spawn Spiderling debuff stacks. Multiple instances of spiders will come. Oh wow. Reworked Shard now causes Silken Bola to be a 550 AoE spell. And increases the miss rate to 80%. Okay, so they brought the miss rate back. That made sense because you were like, it's this massive web, and you're telling me it's this single target ability. You're using that much web on one person. It should disable them for like 20 years. This makes a lot more sense. That's actually a good shard. Really good. Spin web. Yeah, they need to change the ult. Okay. More charges? Yeah, 2 was too low. Movement speed reduced insignificantly. Replenish time. Wow, that's a lot more webs, so you can pump these out. Insatiable Hunger is now a basic ability. Thank you. Mana cost reduced. Oh, is this the ult? That's fair. If you can have multiple instances of spiders, like they had to do that. Okay. Mana cost reduced by a lot. Damage reduced by a lot. Lifesteal reduced by not a lot. Cooldown reduced by a lot. Duration reduced by a lot. You're gonna be using that all the fucking time. I mean, I love it. It always made more sense that she would be hunting, like, okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love it. I love it so much. How the fuck is she going to lane? I don't know, but I love this. This is so well done. Insatiable Hunger always felt a little weird. Silken Bola is now basic ability and no longer roots. Slows by a lot for 6 seconds. 40% miss. Deals impact damage. Causes attacks on the target to deal more magic damage per hit. That also works for allies, I assume. And yeah, your summons, but maybe also allies. Summons. Costs very low amount of mana, low cooldown. Cast range 750. Presumably it uses spin web charges, because they increase the number. Now this makes it a 550 AoE and increases the miss rate to 80%. Okay. Brood is so much better designed now, I don't know if she's better balance-wise. Let me think. That's a lot more damage. She had low damage, but she's really, really slow. She has high stat gain. Insatiable is the Q. Insatiable Hunger is the Q. Fair. Silken Bola. She's way more interactive now. Incapacitating Bite just spelled out of place. It was weird. She's way better at CC now. This has really long cast range. It just felt weird that she couldn't web people. That's been a thing with every fantasy spider. They web you. Now she webs people. Baseline without having to buy an item. Spawn Spiderlings. This has a 7-second cooldown, but it's the ulti. And you can spawn a billion spiders. A fucking billion spiders. Because each one, like each of the spiderlings, apply a debuff. Multiple instances of spiders will come out. I don't think you run the spiderites away anymore because you Silken Bola them and then they do a billion damage from magical damage per hit. Because that's quantity over quality right there. That's crazy. I love that design. I will play Brood now in the offlane. I love this. I love it so much. And you had to run away the spiderites, they would be like, oh god, these are so useless, and wow. That is so well designed, it makes so much sense. I love the Brood changes. Okay, Centaur is in a really weird spot, let's see. He's not really a hero. Okay, AoE increased, that helps. Cast point reduced on Double Edge. Shard slow increased by a lot. Shard buff duration increased. Okay, strength damage return increased by a minuscule amount. Stampede has the same cooldown at all levels. Less damage. Scepter now increases duration by a second. You know, removing Necrobook changed the climate of this game so much. Okay. Well, 6 armor is really big. That alone is really, really big. You might actually buy Shard now. Yeah, I mean, he's not a crazy amount better, but he's definitely better. The armor talent is the most significant change here. Him just having the ability to pick up 6 armor. Or sorry, yeah, 6 armor here. That's crazy. Because he's a sack of hit points, and he always gets magic resistance. He doesn't always have room for an armor item. You make room, but 6 armor is so big on him, especially. That's crazy. Okay. Chaos Bolt, it has a really long backswing. Okay, Shard Illusion now always lasts 6 seconds rather than the duration of the sun. That's a huge buff. I love it. Cool. You gave him Cleave? Excuse me? Level 15 Cleave. I see. They really want him to be a +1. That's not early enough, though. Maybe it is. You'd need another farming item. You might have to buy Battle Fury or some shit. You can't, though. You have to farm heroes. I don't know. This helps you farm creeps. After you farm heroes. It also helps you farm heroes. I don't know. That's cool. 14% cooldown reduction is always a weird number. And it's way less significant now that the ult has literally half the cooldown it used to. As of a few patches ago. Phantasm duration gone. Sadness. Min-max. Okay. That's way more takeable than at level 25. Makes sense. Okay. Not that significant. We'll see if the cleave is. Base mana region on Chen, that's cool. I mean, all the heroes that summon shit became way more unique. I need to stop doing that. This is not voluntary. I mean, I like this is a great website. You can see everything. It's fantastic, but I don't want to be clicking on it when I click way over here. I have to click on the actual hero's name. Make the link smaller, Volvo. That's a lot of mana over the course of a game. That's so much mana. Like 0.5. I mean, how long is that? That's like if the game is 20 minutes. That's so much mana. How much mana is that? That's like 1600 mana in a 20-minute game. That's so much. Heal increased. Yeah, I mean, the heal was fairly low. Shard mana cost. What does the shard do? I don't know. I have no idea what the shard does. Oh, you know. Oh, right, Cuddle. Shard mana cost reduced by a lot. Cast range. His mana economy is way better. This shard is way better. Okay. Cast range to Penitence deals... Wow. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, he didn't need cast range. That's crazy. Minimum 1200, wow. Hand of God cooldown, okay. They're making all the heroes that have summons more unique. Like, Beastmaster is way more interactive now. Instead of, you know, not using the X's a huge amount outside farming. I mean, you use it, but it's not like a huge priority. You would literally just roar someone, run at them with Necrobook, they die. But now you roar a lot more often. You're less focused on just being a generic tank and existing and having summons. Like, summons can live, and especially the bird. Like, the bird is so much tankier now. Alright. I like these Chen buffs. Puppy will be happy. Strength change, that's fine. Strafe costs more mana. The Shard Skeleton lasts less time, that's fair. Scepter spawn interval reduced by a little bit. Cooldown reduced. More searing arrow damage. Sure, this doesn't matter. He has more mana problems. And the skeleton spam is less good. By a lot. That's fine. Jetpack. They nerfed the movement speed, but they buffed the cooldown again. It was 25 when it came out, and I said it was good then. It wasn't, but that's a really low cooldown, I'm just saying. Problem is he has a lot of mobility with Hookshot anyway. It just has a longer cooldown, because X doesn't reduce the cooldown. 12 seconds. A little more armor. I mean, his level 10 talents were just sad, so this is good to see. CM, okay, I love CM. Reworked Shard now allows you to move, cast, and attack during Freezing Field. Your movement speed is reduced by 75% during this, and the Freezing Field follows your movement. Interruptions and silences will still interrupt the spell. Crystal Nova AoE, 125. That's a lot of AoE. Well, you buy that every game. You can attack during Freezing Field. They're trying to do the CM is good at attacking meme. Her build is literally Rush BKB. So she's not going to get stunned unless it's like a bash. She's unlikely to. You know, like there are abilities like Roar that will go through, but you ideally don't want to pick a CM where you care about the ulti that much into that. But being able to do everything you were doing before, just a little slower, and she's slow as fuck anyway, during Freezing Field, that's crazy. And you take Crystal Nova AoE literally every time. I love it. I'm buying that every game I play CM. You can't buy it early. You need to buy it after you have enough mana. Mana is actually a problem on her, surprisingly. Specifically mana pool. Move, cast, and attack. The attacking part is probably still the meme, but you're going to do it. So maybe you buy Mjolnir or something. Gleipnir. You can't really afford it on 5 CM still. Maybe you can. You just have to take some farm. There's definitely something to the attacking part. This actually makes the 200 attack speed infinitely better. Because even CM's regular attacks don't do literally 0 damage, just almost, by the time you would have the 200 attack speed. And you can make that not the case by buying Gleipnir and like attacking a lot. She is actually tanky. 20 armor during the ulti. It's hard to run away from her. She can move the Freezing Field Like, even just the fact you can move Freezing Field. Like, any of you guys who played Resto Druid during WoW Legion, being able to move while casting Tranquility felt fucking amazing, right? This is like that, except way better. So much better. You can run after people, and the 75% slow, they're slowed less than you are, but you can Freezing Field them to make that not the case. They're not getting out of it. They have to stop you. I love this. This makes CM a hero. She's a hero, but like, her ult is her ult just gets cancelled usually. Or you just kill her because 20 armor isn't enough with that low of HP. This is huge. Like, CM is a 4, potentially huge. This is crazy good. I love it. Okay, there's not a huge amount to say about it, really. Ion Shell, damage interval increased. Isn't that a massive nerf? No, the DPS is still the same. I guess it's just a little worse. Damage increased a little earlier. Yeah, I mean, level 1 Ion Shell feels a little sad. Unless you have multiple, which you usually do. Mana cost increased by 10. Scepter max health reduced. Vacuum has way less backswing, that's huge. Okay, normal punch is pretty bad, it's a meme. Shard max distance required reduced. So you have to run 900 instead of 1500 to get the maximum possible benefit. Shard illusion outgoing damage doubled, and they take way less damage. That's good. Vacuum AoE to armor, significant amount of vacuum AoE. 30 seconds wall of replica cooldown. That's like 70 seconds. Really good design, like it. Nice and simple. Cool. Not a lot to say. Dark Willow, base health regen. She has some now. Shadow Realm isn't terrible level 1. Not that it was ever terrible, but you can spam it more now. Damage rescaled on Bramble Maze. A lot more damage. Cast range reduced. That literally doesn't matter. Cast range reduced. That matters more. Shard also reduces delay by 1 second. Why? Oh, reduces delay. I'm dumb. Yeah, I thought that said increases. That's really good. I think the shard was already decent. Cursed Crown AoE. Whoa. Yeah, the cast range didn't fucking matter. At all. Cursed Crown AoE. Big fan. Please help Dazzle. Turn rate improved a lot. Rework shard upgrade now causes poison touch to hex affected targets. 60 attack speed. Wow. Impressive. Not memeing. Now does its first instance of damage. Okay, it can block. It can stop blink, which matters a lot more because people are going to blink in the late game more. Scepter heal increased. Wow. It's a lot. Scepter damaging. Wow. Cast time improved. That's huge for an ability like this. And they reduce the cooldown. 250 heal on Shadow Grave End is really nice. Still don't pick him into Axe. Okay. This shard is ridiculous. Right? They haven't changed the video. I'll be honest, I really liked the shard. It was a meme though. It was not viable to build Dazzle as a right clicker. This is really good. You can imagine what it would look like to, you know, Poison Touch hexing. Poison Touch is now a really good ability. You buy that every game, I'm gonna say. You need a few items before, but you can probably buy it at 20 minutes or not long after. 60 attack speed won't be bought. And by bought, I mean taken. Cast time improved is really big. The Ag's heal is way better. 250 heal on Shallow Grave End, I mean, what is it against? But... okay. Am I blind? Okay, I guess there are no talents on the page. Okay, DP, she needs nerfs. Attack point reduced. That's not a nerf. That's a nerf. That's a big nerf. Shard increases spirit siphon charges by 1 and causes enemies to be feared for 2 seconds if they're siphoned for 4 seconds consecutively. That's cool. It's a nerf, but it's cool. Actually, spirit siphon charges is pretty big. Backswing of Crypt Swarm. It's already fast as fuck. Alright, cool. 6% movement speed. Wow, percent movement speed is kind of rare. It's not that rare, but... Crypt Swarm cooldown. Okay. They apparently don't think Death Prophet offlane is that OP. I'm cool with that. I mean, the movement speed obviously matters. And the base damage obviously matters. But the attack point matters too. And I was expecting more nerfs. I'm happy. I like it. Disruptor, please buff the Shard. Shard allied radius increased. Wow, that's ridiculous. Shard now always increases the radius rather than only on allies. I thought it increased it always anyway. Okay, that's... wow. That's so much better. Allied bonus duration 1.25 instead of 1 second. Yeah, that's fine. Glimpse has a way shorter cooldown early. Wow. That's a huge buff. You can actually use it more than fucking once before reaching level 3. That's an exaggeration, but not by much. Static Storm duration 2. Way more significant. He doesn't need cast range. Glimpse arrival damage. That's cool. That's a really out of character. I love it. That's cool. Makes a lot of sense because Glimpse didn't do any damage. And it was kind of a weird ability to have on the hero. Okay. Kinetic Field grants True Sight to 2-second kinetic field duration. Okay. I really liked that. But I guess it wasn't that useful in general. 7-second cooldown Glimpse is unholy. Wow. Kinetic field duration is static storm. Okay, this is an improvement. I just really liked the True Sight. I'm not saying it's better. Or I'm not saying it's worse, I'm just saying I don't like it as much. It's a lot of kinetic field duration. Alright. I mean, you pretty much always take static storm duration, because, come on. That's cool. Doom, base armoring. Whoa! You can't do that. They made his damage more consistent. This is a huge buff. Base attack time improve. Whoa, okay, calm down. Calm down. You can't just be doing this. Base 0 to 3. He's so tanky now. He had no way to improve the longevity of his HP. Nulling provides health regen. Okay, that's a start. Backswing reduced by a lot. That's good. Gold bonus increased a little. Backswing reduced. Yeah, Doom would sometimes take long enough to cast that they would be able to go into the fog before you finished it, so this is nice. Scepter no longer reduces cooldown. Scepter now also increases Doom duration by 6 seconds. I mean... that's a nerf. Is it? It was 45 seconds less cooldown. I guess you don't need Doom that often. Every 45 seconds. Yeah, that's kind of a break even, I'm gonna say. More magic resist? Wow, he's so tanky. Okay. Scorched Earth damage. Scorched Earth cooldown. Devour can target Ancients. Cool. Scorched Earth movement speed. Base armor is crazy. He's so much better at laning. Base attack time, he can actually make use of the cleave. Right-click Doom confirmed. It's way better at last hitting. He can actually stand in the creeps. Doesn't get health regen though. This feels pretty neutral. It's not going to make an astronomical difference, but it will matter a lot for his survivability in the lane. He's way better at surviving against physical damage and way worse at surviving against magic damage. But he already had a lot of HP. 3 armor's crazy. I love it. Okay, Fireball. Shard can now be used in melee form. Wow. I haven't seen Dragon's Blood yet. I'm going to watch it soon. I thought I was doing a watch party, but maybe not. So I've been holding off. So... Right. Shard can now be used in melee form is really nice. It has way less range, but that's fine. I'm hoping they do a remodel of him, because he looks pretty bad. Breathe Fire damage reduction. This is total damage reduction. Oh right, I skipped this. Mana cost reduced, that's nice. Cooldown increased, that's fine. It's worse of a value point now. Damage increase to significant levels, that's cool. We take those. Shard can now be used in melee form, makes you always fight that shard. Every single game. Yeah, this is total damage, not base damage like most reductions. So it's way bigger than it seems. Mana regen to 15 damage. I mean, yeah, you want the damage earlier. You're taking it all. Dragon Tail stun duration? Why? That's unholy. 150 Elder Dragon Form attack range is really big. Dragon Blood armor and regen. Instead of... Instead of 1.8x. Sure, that's fine. 175 AoE Dragon Tail during Dragon Form. Wow. Makes sense. That is a really fucking strong taunt, because with this is a fucking, what, 5-second stun? A billion seconds? I meant 4. I said 5, I meant 4. I did actually mean 4. That's really obnoxious. So fucking black hole without the damage. It's not as big as black hole, but... Okay, attack point reduced. Shard burst slow increased, so when it explodes... The slow, shard now affects creeps. Whoa. Whoa. Hypothermia stack on creeps. Really? Shard is a farming item. And you buy Manta for sure. Holy shit. So much better now. Multi-shot cooldown, why? Oh my god, you buffed the best ability in Dota, why? Mana cost reduced, why? Alright, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Earth Spirit, Stone Slow reduced. Why? Remnant pull speed reduced. Vision radius reduced. On the shard, right? Scepter damage increased. Radius increased. Cool, that's pretty good. Distance reduced. Stone is... Earth Spirit nerfs. Insignificant in Earth Spirit nerfs. This pretty much breaks even. This isn't a big deal. Okay. Earthshaker. Enchant totem no longer is True Strike. Sadness? No longer get consumed if the attack misses. That's more balanced. Scepter leap range reduced, but it provides cleave with the enchant totem buff. Oh god. Okay, they want Crit Shaker to be more of a thing. That's fair. And this leap range will probably look more reasonable in-game. It just looked really silly that he jumped that far. More armor. Earth Splitter has longer cooldown early, but a way lower delay. Not way lower, but significantly lower. Nerf the mana cost. They really like reducing backswings. The backswing of Flame Guard. Oh my god. I mean, this isn't that crazy, but... Okay, Shard now provides you with a charge when killing enemy heroes rather than spawning a fire except in the case where you die. Scepter cast range reduced. Normal cast range reduced. That is a buff to the Shard, because it was a complete meme. Having more charges means you can actually spam it, put it where you want. Duration increase on Flame Guard. They need to increase its absorption at level 1. That'll make it really good. Okay, Untouchable. Attack speed so increased by 20. Wisp count, 8 at all levels. Heal per Wisp. Yeah, this is them learning. They don't need to scale multiple things on abilities. Like, OD, they realized that Arcane Orb is literally a percentage, so it scales anyway. You don't need to scale the numbers, so they scaled the cooldown level. This is kind of the same thing. You just scale the healing, but keep the wisps count the same. Enigma. They barely nerfed Enigma. I mean, that's not barely. That is a really big nerf in the lane. Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. No, I'm dumb. This is Enigma's dead, right? Because the build offlane Enigma has been spam demonic conversion to dominate lane, and then build Necrobook. Necrobook is gone. Spamming this in lane is gone, but they increased the Midnight Pulse radius. Rip Enigma. They need to come up with a new build. Void base armor, nice. Backswing improved, that's nice. Now does DPS per cooldown. That's cool. Cooldown reduced, they want this to be a way better ability. That's a really short cooldown. Duration reduced, that's fine. Cooldown's slow, so it slows them by less. Mana reduced. I mean, this is fine. Damage is nice. It stops blinks now. This is a way better ability. It didn't need to slow the cooldowns by as much as it did. It was pretty obnoxious. Now you can use it more. You're going to see this coming out more. It does more damage, less duration. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. More damage on time lock. Chrono, backswing reduced by a lot, so you're going to miss less. Radius increased. Wow. Cast range reduced. Fine. Cast range on time lock, rounded off. Shard gives 200 more cast range. Shard return ability is on its own hotkey instead of on D. That's really nice. Strength versus agility, classic. Cast walk, range. Time walk, cast range. So you have to get it from the shard, and only from the shard. 300 health, that's really nice. Time walk. Okay, Void is probably back. And you probably build Mjolnir again. Okay, rework shard. Causes Inkwell to deal 50% more damage and heal the target for 50% of the damage dealt. Upon expiration, the target will receive a strong dispel. That is huge! I love it. Damage per second on this is way higher. Latch radius increase on Soulbind, that's nice. Sometimes it wouldn't latch. Phantom's Embrace DPS is a crazy talent, what the fuck? That's so much damage. Wow. I mean, already with this change, I think it does as much damage, like almost as much damage while it's latched as it does when it, like, unlatches. Wow. Nice. Flat cannon attack count increase, thank you. Yeah, it should do more when it's used. It'll be usable less. Yeah, that's better design. I mean, it's usable the same later. 2 attacks was really sad. 5 attacks was honestly a little sad. Okay. She has eggs now. Hoodwink. Added eggs. Grants new active ability, Hunter's Boomerang. Is it a Kylie boomerang? Tosses a boomerang in an arc, sad, at a target enemy. Upon contact, it returns to Hoodwink. The boomerang will deal 350 damage as it passes through or hits enemies. And apply a Hunter's Mark that causes affected enemies to be slowed by 20% and take 25% more spell damage and have 25% reduced status resistance for 7 seconds. Cooldown 18. That's really good. Shard grants Decoy. Sends a decoy illusion with scurry to the target location. When the illusion is attacked or hit by a targeted ability is destroyed and plants a tree in its place that applies a lesser bushwhack to enemy heroes around it. The illusion lasts well. That's cool. People will build that. That's cool. I like it. I like it. 100% damage plus this bonus to 65% plus this. So they want her to be a 4. She scales less. Like, a lot less. Okay, yeah. They killed mid Hoodwink and stuff. They really want her to be not a core, or at best an offlaner. Initial projectile now uses the attacker's projectile speed. Fine. Talented Tree is no longer considered special for Tango usage. That was really abusive, what the fuck? May now be placed on autocast to always use your ground targeting. That's cool, I like that. Would be helpful for me because of the tremor. Radius of Bushwhack decreased. Damage decreased on Bushwhack to reasonable ability levels. It did way too much damage. It stuns longer though. Fixed units dying during Bushwhack, sometimes destroying trees and freeing other units from Bushwhack. That was not okay, okay. Active speed of Scurry reduced, and it takes less time to get more charges back? Okay, this here is still untouchable. Max damage reduced. Now has minimum power level of 20 and scales normally from there. Instead of 0, I guess. Costs more mana, movement slow reduced earlier. Max debuff duration reduced, no longer grants vision along the sight. So it's more blind. Yeah, the Axe is actually good. Scepter's cool, I like it. Or the, god, Shard. And the Scepter is, oh, you can use it on creeps. Yeah, of course. I don't know, maybe she is capable of being a core more so. I think she's a 3 and a 4. 5 definitely not, honestly. Not good enough in lane. Does more reasonable damage. I like it. I like the Hoodwink changes. Scales less, so you are less incentivized to build damage. More abilities to use, some more impact on spells rather than scaling versus by buying tons of items sort of way. I like it. Huskar has more strength gain, the knockback duration is increased, Shard upgrade can now be cast while disabled. Wow. And it costs less of your HP. And you get spell lifesteal at 25 because who took attack range over pure damage. Rework Shard. Causes 2 extra Chaos Meteors. I love it. The Meatball. Okay, regen reduced. That provides +2. Oh, I love this. Oh my god. Yeah, he doesn't have attribute levels. So you can actually invest to see what you really want. And yeah, Wex was the weakest, so that makes sense. That's so cool. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's a nerf, because other heroes get this without reducing something about their hero, but that's okay. More damage on the best ability Invoker has, we'll take it. More Chaos Meteors. That's so cool. People will buy that. Meteor is a super crazy ability. Okay, so you can't... With the attack talent, it only works when you could attack. Still doesn't matter with the range, though. Cast range reduced on tether. No longer unlocks max movement speed. That's sad. Shard now stuns upon connecting with the tether rather than untether break. Whoa. That's way better. You're actually going to buy Shard now. Max distance, fine. Collision damage reduced, fine. More health regen helps. More spell lifesteal helps. More relocate cooldown, really good. Okay. Overall, this is nerfs, of course, but first of all, that's really fair, and I like the Shard more. That's fine. Okay, Jakiro. I love Jakiro. That's way more agility, so you can actually harass more in lane. Delay between waves reduced. Yeah, sometimes people, if you did it more maximum range, people would manage to outrun one of them, and it was sad. Shard now stuns targets, but slows less, so it can cancel TPs. He has 2 ways to cancel TPs, that's unholy. Scepter no longer increases damage, and instead gives you the old talent. I love it. Oh my god, thank you. Oh my god, I can play Jakiro every game. I love it. I was so worried they were going to nerf the damage of Liquid Frost. It does % max health damage to buildings. I can play Jakiro every game because I've always wanted this change. I mean, honestly, I want some slow on Macro Fire since it's supposed to be heat and cold, but he has enough slow, it's fine. Ice Path cooldown to Liquid Fire attack speed at 15. Dual breath damage to 325 health. Liquid Fire attack speed to Ice Path duration. This is really significant because you always buy Shard, almost always, I guess, and Liquid Fire was falling behind Liquid Frost. This makes that less true. Ice Path duration this early. That's nice. Dual breath range to macro pyre damage. Whoa. I like that because it's fucking pure. 2x dual breath damage and range. Or 2.5 second ice path cooldown. I'm in love. I'm in love. This is... Oh my god. Oh, this is almost everything I've ever wanted for this hero in one patch. Wow. Every problem with the hero is gone except him being slow. And if you don't want to change that, he builds Yules, it's fine. And Tranquils. Double damage on dual breath? And that works with this talent too. Oh wait, the talent doesn't exist, that's fair. Wow. So there's nothing that changes dual breath until later. What are his starting stats like? He has way more attack speed, and they didn't change the armor to be the same, so he actually has an entire extra armor in lane. Well, for the whole game, really. Yeah, this ability does 20 plus 2.5% of max health per second for 4 seconds. It works on buildings. You can do Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost. And with the minus attack speed talent on Liquid Fire being level 15, you can actually take it, unlike at 20, where it was way less significant. Getting to 15 happens way more often than getting to 20. So you can actually take that and then use both, and buildings literally just can't fucking attack. Macropyre being pure earlier is really nice. I love the debuff on Macropyre, it just, the pure thing needed to be earlier. Oh, it still does what it did before too. It just doesn't increase damage. For some reason I thought that the axe was completely replaced. This is better than I thought it was. Oh my god. I was working under the assumption it removed the extra range. It can't destroy trees anymore, but that is a small price to pay. Honestly, sometimes, I'll say most of the time, you want the trees to stay because that makes it harder for them to get out of it. Huge buffs. Jakiro just went up like 4 tiers, which makes him S+++ tier. I love this. Jakiro is so insane. He might even be a 4, because he can push waves really well. I like Jakiro 4 and 5, but he's mostly 5. Actually, no, you actually want to buy Ags like a lot now. He might be a straight up 4. Okay. Omni Slash now provides spell immunity. How does that matter? How does that matter? You're invulnerable. I guess it provides spell immunity for the time it takes, like, the backswing. What? Yeah, I guess it provides spell immunity for the backswing. I don't know. That's weird. It probably has some important niche interactions. What? Does it apply spell immunity after or something? What is this? He's invulnerable. Alright, we'll just have to see that in game. Mana cost of Swift Slash increased, cast range reduced. That's completely fair. Attack rate multiplier reduced. That nerfs the Swift Slash as well. Fair. Omni Slash is disgusting. Okay. Puddle. Another one of my favorite heroes. Base strength increased. Love it. Reworked shard upgrade now grants you recall during spirit form. Nice, love it. No longer grants recall. Causes Illuminate to heal. Thank you. Thank you. Illuminate not healing felt really weird. During cast range for 2 Solar Bind charges. That's a big buff. He doesn't need cast range. Blinding Light cooldown to Chakra Magic cooldown. Love it. Chakra Magic cooldown to Chakra Magic dispels. That's huge. Whoa. And he's more likely to get more levels because he kills creeps like nobody's fucking business. Great. We take those. Base HP regen increased. On Kunkka. That's a big buff. Agility gain increased. Not that big of a buff. Cast range reduced. Okay. Tidal Wave. Not that good. Shard now causes affected units to be unable to attack for the full duration. That's a big buff. Now starts at 900 instead of 600 units behind you, so if you're in the middle of a fight, it'll hit more people, I guess. Cooldown reduced. Damage increased. Big buff. Like it. Might be viable. Cast range. I like that they're removing a lot of the cast range. They might be removing cast range entirely. I haven't been thinking about that as much. I'll assess that later. 0.4 second torrent knock up / stun duration. That's big. 14 strength matters way more than health. Health regen talents just make me so sad. Tidebringer cleave at 20 is a lot better. Tidebringer cooldown, yes. Okay. He scales a lot better now. This is a big change to the scaling, especially the torrent knockup because of Torrent Storm. These are all really big buffs. I like it. I mean, these aren't big buffs, but they matter a lot. Again, this is a lot of HP to be regenning passively for free. Legion, reworked shard. Causes press the attack to apply spell immunity. What the fuck? You can't do that. Oh my god. It's a strong dispel that applies spell immunity as well? Why? That's so good. Okay, radius for overwhelming odds increased. Scepter no longer grants spell immunity. Scepter damage immunity from non-dual participants changed from 100 to 50%. Reduces cooldown by 20 seconds. Okay, Legion is literally twice as good as she was before this patch. Oh my god, I don't want to play against Legion as a fucking support. They only take 50% damage. That means that allies can help with this, and she's still like almost as tanky. Like, it's fine. It's not that much of a nerf. But she can duel way more and get way more damage. Oh my god. You actually buy Ags a lot now. Because you only bought it before when you knew you could win the fight, guaranteed. Now you can just do it like before. Press the attack is so fucking strong with that shard. You don't buy it every game, but almost every game. And they brought this back. Overwhelming odds damage per hero, so it's... I mean, come on. Why was this a thing? No one fucking took this. It wasn't that good. This is crazy. As impact. Because you honestly don't want to take the time to cast Overwhelming Odds while you're doing 20 quintillion damage with right clicks. Okay. Lightning Storm cast point reduced. It was too long there. Cast... Oh, wow. Radius increase on Pulse Nova. Shard... Pulse count increased to 3, so it increases to be a ginormous radius. I like it. Lightning Storm damage. I was wondering why this wasn't here. It used to be a thing. Way earlier. Now, yeah, oh wow, that's such a big buff. You buy this just or you get this every game. 20 strength, 30% magic resist. Wow. Okay, yeah. Leshrac is way more of an offlaner now. I'm gonna play Leshrac offlane all the fucking time. That's so cool. Okay. Lich, my boy. Mana cost reduced back. Cool. Primary target damage reduced. Area damage increased by more than they reduced it by. I mean, it's only worse early. Chain Frost mana cost increased to just rounder numbers. Shard health increased by a lot. Shard radius increased by a lot. Shard slow increased by a lot. Ice Spire, might be a thing now, I don't know. It'll hit critical mass at some point. AoE damage to radius and damage. That's a big buff. Frost shield damage reduction. Wow, I love this. I want every talent in the game, with very few exceptions, to be things that directly affect abilities. This is so cool. Both of these talents are extremely strong. Extremely strong. Holy shit. I mean, this ability does 360 damage to a single target. You can make that 485 with a way bigger radius. For the... yeah, 325 to everyone else. That's insane. Frost shield damage reduction will be better in a lot of games, though. Lifestealer needs help. Base damage reduced. Why? Thank you. Thank you. Max health is damage. That's... yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That's what we needed. I'm gonna read the rest before I look at this. Shard now also causes all hero attacks on the target to deal 2% of the target's max health this damage. Wow. Shard cooldown reduced. Wow. Scepter hero duration increased. Cooldown reduced. Cool frenzy slow. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I like that they finally came to the conclusion that these don't have to be the same number. Yeah, Lifestealer's back. And better than ever, because he also has movement slow. Yeah, perfect. I love it. And open wins is worth buying. And, you know, this might be worth doing. Being invulnerable is always good, and if you can do it from inside an enemy hero, that's just more versatility. Honestly, I think you buy this sometimes. He gets lots of money, and he does way more damage to heroes now. And this should get increased... no, this won't get increased by anything. I guess it's health removal. I thought it would be physical damage. That's still fine, though. Love it. Lifestealer needed this. He should be doing percent damage. He hit like a wet noodle, when before he hit like a truck. And now he's back to hitting like a truck. Especially with the shard, because holy fuck. That's crazy. Okay, Lena. Light Strike Array does more damage. Why? Shard now removes the delay before damage is dealt. That's nice. You can't dodge it almost at all anymore. Cast range, nice. Cool. And it's still a line attack. Dragon Slave cooldown, thank you. Laguna Blade cool... wow. Okay, you buy the shard way more. Dragon Slave cooldown is going to be taken so much. No one, like, people took cast range, but he doesn't need it. She doesn't need it. Okay, Lion needs help. Reworked shard upgrade causes mana drain to affect up to 3 enemies. You become spell immune while channeling. That's way better. That's way better. Thank you. Oh my god, they did it. I just got a spoiler. Okay. Cooldown rescaled. That's fine. Break distance reduced. Fine. Mana drain slowed to movement speed. Okay. Cast range to 70 max health per Finger of Death kill. What? That's crazy. Okay. 20. Okay. +2 mana drain multi-target to mana drain restores allies. This is what needed to happen. I've been saying it actually for a while. If you've seen my streams where I've talked about Lion's issues, Pugna can restore mana and health. Now Lion can restore health. Pugna can do it from the beginning, but it's fine. You might actually buy that shard. Spell immune while channeling. Or magic immune. That's, it's actually crazy. You get lots of health? Okay. He scales way better now. The Lion is way stronger. This having such a short cooldown was so pointless, too. 4 seconds? No one would use it that often. 6 seconds. Lion feels like he's in a really good spot. I'll actually play him. That's cool. Range-based attack time improved. That's a big buff. Lindred's ranged form hasn't been super strong since he had, like, 200 attack range and 50 damage as level 10 and level 15 talents. Respectively. Okay, Shard now also applies a basic spell on you and the bear. Wow, that's really good. Shard now also causes the roar to happen at both locations, regardless of the casting state on the other side. Cool. Love it. Really short and sweet. Luna also making her better because Dragon's Blood. Cast point reduced. Cool. Shard no longer increases stun duration. Shard no longer provides you with movement speed. Now releases an attack at up to 2 random targets within 500 radius from the target location. These attacks bounce like Glaives normally do, lowers mana cost by 50. This just made Luna a hero because they also added Lucid Beam stun, and no one took cast range. So, no one who was sane. Shade intended, I guess. Not really. Yeah. Lucent Beam is now a spammable ability. It's worth using. It obviously doesn't work with Eclipse because that would be unholy. Yeah, now you actually spam Lucent Beam like they've been wanting to you to for years. They found the solution. Lycan. Agility gain increased. Oh god, Lycan doesn't have Necrobook anymore. They need a ton of buffs. Agility gain increased. That's a big buff. Attacks backswing, basically non-existent. Mana cost reduced. That helps a lot early because he's not down. He's pretty down. Bonus damage increased. Cool. Transformation. Oh, there's a lot left. What the hell? 40%. Transformation time reduced. Cool. Movement speed okay, reduced. Duration increased. That's huge. Increases Lycan's health. Whoa, he can fight way more in Shapeshift. That makes sense. He's a werewolf. Wolf Bite now grants Shapeshift to the target only rather than the target and units it controls. Fair. Can now target creep hero units like Spirit Bear and Golem. Whoa, that's cool. Especially the Golem. Holy fuck. Because I know Spirit Bear is crazy and this is really, really good on Spirit Bear, but Golem is just really random and I like to acknowledge that. Shapeshift movement speed to summon Wolf's Health. Okay. He's obviously worse than he was before, but maybe not by that much. He's going to be better at fighting heroes, worse at taking buildings, but not hugely. Not absolutely hugely. I love that they brought this back. Yeah. That also helps with the pushing here, actually. Summon Wolf's Health, you take that every time if you build Shard. Love it. It's good. Magnus, please. Please help Magnus. Damage increased, but not the cleave. Mana cost reduced. Damage increased. Speed reduced. That's fine. Reverse polarity costs less mana. Horn toss, shard, landing stun, duration. That's not enough, dude. It's gotta be more. Skewer cooldown. Okay, this is pretty insignificant, but you know, nice incremental buffs. This is going to maybe increase his win rate by at most 1%, unless the horn toss thing is really good, like I'm not expecting. Mars no longer has mana problems. What the fuck? A lot more int. 0.6 int per level is a lot of mana for Mars, relative to his, like, it's not game-breaking, but it's a lot more mana. Damage versus heroes reduced early. Scepter attack slow increased. Fine. Oh, wait. Oh, so whenever you have Bulwark active, it creates, like, soldiers that are, like, in your ult, except instead of knocking back, they just do, like, your damage, and they slow by 20%, but now it's 30. That's cool. Arena Blood. I swear to God, when Mars first came out, I won, like, 3 games in a row, literally because I would get out of lane, I was level 6, I would have Blink? 7, probably. And I would have Blink, and I would just blink in and skewer someone with Arena Blood, and they would die. I wouldn't even have to use God's Rebuke. They would just be fucking dead. They reduce this damage so much over time. These are good buffs. HP regen, Arena Blood. That also applies to allies. That's insane. Giving Mars more mana is the only help he really needed, so that's big. Ooh, okay. Medusa can now build way stronger Manta illusions. HP regen, we take those. Intelligence gain reduced, I don't care. Now passively provides plus flat really high mana. Holy shit, that's a lot more mana. Mana shield is way more usable. Okay, Scepter stun duration, 1.5 base. So it's only worse if it hits 6+ targets. That's better for sure. And they rounded this number off. This is a huge buff. Medusa's going to be way better than she was before. Okay. What? Meepo's model is a third the size for the purposes of collision? That's such a random change that I've never seen the likes of before that could have so many fucking changes in the game that, I don't know, he might be able to... You can bunch up Meepos like crazy now. You can probably slip through the cracks in a lot of situations where you otherwise might be body blocked. That's crazy. Reworked Shard now allows you to poof to allies within a max range of 2,000 when directly targeting them. You can poof to non-Meepos, and then poof your Meepos to the Meepo that is teleported to non-Meepos. Meepo, Meepo, Meepo. We take those, I like it. That's really good. Poof radius damage increased, cool. Damage reduced. Scepter duration increased for dig. It's Visage Bird's ability. Restoring, yeah, okay. This is the Shard. That's insane. Way better than the Scepter. This is a lot better than it was, though. Poof damage, okay, 20 base damage is way better than 15 damage. In every situation, but especially for Meepo, because, you know. Okay. Base health regen on Monkey King reduced. Wukong's command soldiers fixed to no longer ignore their attack cooldown when they miss. I don't know what that means, but it's probably a good bug fix. Monkey King's a little broken right now. Ground to tree range reduced. Okay, so tree to tree range is still the same. Cast range on this reduced. Scepter soldiers no longer attack Roche because that was an abuse where I don't remember exactly what it was. I think you like smoked in to the Roche pit and then stood and created soldiers and they would just kill Roche and you would have to do nothing. Soldiers now die when Monkey King dies. That's a big nerf. Okay. Obviously the ult ends, but... Okay, tree dance cast range, fine. Primal Spring damage did not matter at all. Boundless Strike cooldown. That's really big. I've always wanted Boundless Strike to have lower cooldown. That's going to be taken a lot. 200 armor Wukong's command was never taken. 0 cooldown Primal Spring. Really? So you can immediately Primal Spring every time you tree dance. You tree dance and immediately spring. That's the Primal Spring, jumping off the tree and doing damage. Let's close some of these. Don't know, I had 2 Legion Commanders open. Yeah, this is all good. Honestly, I think this is a net buff. Because this is just nerfing something that shouldn't have existed. This is a net buff. I love this. It's really strong. Because you can get the Shard to jump around like a absolute crazy person. But now you can Primal Spring after each of those. So it's not just a meme. You can actually utilize it. Oh, lots of Morphling changes. Okay. Lots more int. Attribute Shift has a 10 mana cost per second. They brought it back. Attribute Shift interval. Higher early. Very slightly lower late. Adaptive Strike mana cost greatly reduced. Adaptive Strike Shard no longer removes the 3-second Shard cooldown. Explain. Multi-shot prioritizes heroes is crazy, by the way. Increases the stun duration by 1 second. Means even doing like the tiniest amount of strength still stuns. Adaptive Strike Shard increases stun duration by 1 second. Yeah, that's crazy. Waveform reduced, that's fair. It was a little too high on mana cost. Magic Resist is really nice on him. He is less likely to get blown the fuck up in games where that would matter. If he shifts too much agi, which won't happen if you're experienced. More agi here, cool. More strength, that's literally stats are all he needs. Tiny amounts of cooldown reduction should just be removed. 30 strength to attribute shift while stunned. Oh no. They brought that back. Okay. Huge Morphling buffs, and he also can build Manta style, and it'll be extremely fucking strong. Okay. Not affected by the Manta style changes. but negatively affected by the diffusal changes. Cooldown increased. Fair. Duration increased. Okay, that's also fair. That feels a little better, I think. Cast range... just better balance-wise, not even... yeah, this feels better balance-wise. It was too short, but also too short of a cooldown. It cost too much mana for what it did. Now it does more per mana, but you can't use it as much. Scepter cooldown reduction increased, cool. Shard no longer is inactive. Shard armor reduction increased 2 to 4. Also adds a 20% slow when it procs. That's a buff, it's fine. 25% evasion to mines. Oh, that's really strong. Because it's also a basic dispel and you can use it to dodge stuff. And 25% evasion was irrelevant because you built Butterfly and it had diminishing returns. Okay. NP. Damage lower early, higher later. Cooldown increased, fair. Base damage increased, be careful with that. Increment per bounce reduced. Okay, that's why you had to be careful, so they changed that. Root duration increased massively. Wow. Nice. Wrath of Nature base damage, sure. Treant, 2.5. Okay. They increased the base attack time of greater chance from 1 to 1.4. 1 was way too low, so... yeah, that's nice. Decent buffs. Attack animation time reduced, cool. Attack projectile speed increased, very cool. Shard has been reworked. No longer does 50% more damage and heal. Instead, it applies Decrepify on the target enemy or ally for 2.5 seconds. Against enemies, it reduces magic resistance by 25%. What? What? I didn't know there was... I guess they're both green boys. Pugna and Decrepify? Really? It just applies Decrepify straight up? Okay, it's not straight up Decrepify. That would be 60%. That's not okay. 25% magic resistance reduction. Spread stores nearby enemies and allies. Only the target becomes Decrepified. I mean, that's way better because it sets up Reaper's Sight. Slow's better. Cool. Regen increased. Very cool, because you get lots of stacks. Regen duration increased. Extra cool. We take those. Also surrounding off numbers. Cast point reduced. That helps. Sometimes people would be more likely to dodge it. Reaction time is the thing. Shard is no longer restricted from player units. So you can eat anything except special units. Shard can now be cast during the day on non-ancient units. Shard healing increased. Wow. Yeah, you buy Shard every game. That solves all of his problems, being able to use it during the day. That's so good. Crippling Fear cooldown. Wow, okay, yeah. That's a huge buff to Night Stalker. Love it. Vendetta now provides plus 50% attack animation speed. Cool. We take those. Yeah, sometimes it could feel like you couldn't assassinate quickly enough because the windup is pretty long. That's cool. Impale damage reduced, Spike Carapace damage to Spike Carapace cooldown, way better. Cool. Ogre. Shard incoming damage reduction increased from 70 to 85%. It's only a few attacks. Shard mana cost reduced, cool. Yeah, no one was buying it. Cast point reduced, nice. Mana cost reduced, nice. Minus 1 second fire blast cooldown, cool. Bloodless attack speed reduced, okay, yeah. This is a buff, I like it. Omni. Base strength increased, cool. Base movement speed increased, very cool. Strength bonus. Making it symmetrical. Damage rescaled from 50 plus 150% of base damage to 60 plus 115. Cooldown reduced, mana cost reduced. Base damage increased. Base damage talent increased. It still might be a meme. I really want to be... I want to be able to play Omni Outflame. That would be nice. That would be cool. But this probably isn't it yet. This is a big buff, though. Cooldown is the biggest problem. Or was the biggest problem, so... I'll try it for sure. Oracle is my boy. He is my boy. He is my most favoritist hero. Okay. Intelligence reduced, fine. Damage rescaled. lower early, lower at level 1, higher. Well, and level 2. And then... Wait, no, okay. It's lower at level 1, and then it's higher, much higher, everywhere else. Wow. We take those. Shard Fade Delay reduced, nice. That's low enough that you can almost always, unless it's an alchemist with maximum attack speed, you go invisible in between attacks. That's nice. Cooldown is, let's not rescale, just say increased. It's not a big deal. What? Oh my god, I'm so happy. I mean, I know he needs cast range. But it's fine, they're removing all cast range. Plus 15 armor, false promise. I love it. I don't take this talent, but it's fine. Purifying Flames, ally damage to plus 30% Purifying Flames. Enemy damage, I like that better. Minus 1.5 second Fortune's End max channel time to instant Fortune's End. So it's instant, and it always has max duration. That feels a lot more like a level 25 talent. I kind of like the sound of it winding up. These are huge buffs. I'm so happy. Increasing the cooldown of the ult is fine because they gave the 15 armor talent. Yeah, like this was totally insignificant because usually you use the W anyway and then purge it off. These are huge buffs and I think they made a mistake and I'm happy about it. Essence Flux. Okay, the shard was a meme, let's see. Shard now has a 0.75 second cast time instead of a 1.5 second channel. Cool. So it won't go on cooldown. Now transfers 100%. Okay. Cast point increased. No, Scepter no longer increases cast range. Oof. Now increases damage. Now causes it to damage. Oh. Okay, so I thought they would nerf OD more, but they only buffed him. They're reducing cast range across the board, so people are going to be closer to each other in general, so this is not as big of a deal as it seems. Also, Aetherlens is way fucking better than it was. It's like the only source of cast range. It's going to be bought so much. Scepter no longer increases cast range by 150 is not that big of a deal. I think you still build Meteor Hammer, but you can buy Ag's Scepter and do like 440 damage in a 400 AoE. That's a bigger AoE than it was before when it did AoE damage. I think you still get the Meteor Hammer, but you might also get Ag's Scepter. OD is extremely fucking strong now. He has no weaknesses. I thought they would at least reduce his speed. Alright, Pango. I love Pango. Everyone loves Pango. Unless they're playing against him. Cast range reduced. Fine. Speed reduced. Fine. Duration increased. That's huge. Damage reduced. Fine. Mana cost reduced. Wow! Shield Crash you can use always. Damage reduction increased. Okay, calm down. 12% is way too high at level 1. For 60 mana. Same duration. Less mana regen. That is fine. So they're just... By doing this, they're reducing the cost of Shield Crash. So they're only... Your mana economy is improved if you use Shield Crash. Compared to the way it was before. If you were also using Shield Crash then. Because you pretty much always take this talent. I love it. Honestly, Rolling Thunder felt a little too fast when playing. It was a little clunky. 550 will feel a little better, in my opinion. It's also not above the speed cap. PA. Lower range on dagger, except at level 1. Shard damage. Oh god, that's percent damage of max health. Mana cost reduced. Oh wow. Impact time now matches the projectile visuals. Reduce the cast range and dagger cooldown. The dagger cooldown's actually better. Yeah, Fan of Knives just costs too much mana. PA's really, really dumb. Almost as dumb as Troll. And, this helps her a lot. I love it. It's disgusting. I want to see Spectre Buffs. So I love playing Spectre. Just don't make her tankier, make her... I don't know. Don't make her tankier and more mobile, make her do more damage. especially 'cause she's getting an Arcana, so. Base damage range, that's better. Cast range reduced, range of this reduced, shard damage increased. What's the shard? I haven't played PL since 7.28. Increases illusion damage by 50%. A lot of illusion damage. Spirit Lance cooldown. Juxtaposed, oh god, 5%. If they increase this to 6%, this is literally ridiculous. Because juxtaposed illusions don't do that much damage, and there are a lot of them. Okay, shard reworked. That is sad. That is sad. Everyone put a gigantic F in chat for infinite fire spirits. Alright. So, Sunray can be cast during Supernova, it slows. Sunray slowing is really good. Really, really good, because she has no way to slow people otherwise. It does less damage by 0.5% at all levels. It does less range. This has less radius. Icarus type cast range reduced. Sunray during Supernova is now Supernova stun duration. Honestly, this isn't that bad. It's definitely nerfs, but the shard was way too good. It was literally the best shard in the game. Phase shift has higher cooldown early, fine. Cooldown increased on Waning Rift, that's also fine. Waning Rift's silence duration is a really good taunt. Distance and speed was overkill to Illusory Orb cooldown, way better. Waning Rift AoE and range to 250. That's fine. This is a net buff. Well, no, it is a net nerf, like earlier, but puck is often mid. This makes mid puck. You have to go mid more because the levels are like the talents are better, and also you need more levels for these to get back to like the same level they were before. So mid puck better every other. Well, mid puck a little bit worse, but less worse than other pucks. Fudge base armor increase. That's a really big thing. Oh, ooh, these are juicy. Those are really juicy ways to buff Pudge. Very juicy, filled with juice and pus, and lots of unpleasant other stuff that you might imagine is inside the literal Frankenstein's monster that is Pudge. Base armor and attack range are really cool ways to buff Pudge. He always looked like he should have a little more attack range. That makes sense. I can see that. The base armor, yeah, that's a big buff. Cooldown reduced, yeah. That's probably what the cooldown is going to end up at. That just makes a lot of sense. Shard cast range massively increased on allies. Scepter radius, they're keeping the rot meme. Alright, cool. I like it. Pudge will eventually be really strong if they keep buffing him in new ways. Like none. That's a big buff. Okay, more consistent and higher damage. Delay on Nether Blast reduced, that's a big buff. Shard interval reduced, so it drains from multiple people and starts draining from multiple people faster. Nether Ward damage per mana is underrated. I think it was really good before. This is incentivizing you to take it more. Co-op of Pain. Base attack damage, again, tightened the spread. That's a buff. Cooldown. Wow, you can actually not feel bad about keeping Blink at level 1. You always do it, but you don't feel as bad. Actually, no, the distance is reduced, Shard silence duration increased. Scepter, yeah, you buy Scepter a lot more now. Spell lifesteal better. Blink cooldown is crazy. I liked Sonic Wave damage, but it was not that good. He doesn't need that much more damage. Buff duration reduced earlier, shard damage increased. Help me out. It's just whenever someone attacks you, right? Or casts a spell, they get lightninged. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. Pretty insignificant. I mean, this matters. This makes him worse considerably, like earlier, but not a huge deal. Now provides plus 50% attack animation increase for the attack. I love it because they nerfed the fuck out of Ricky. Attack damage reduced. Now increases your agility by a lot. I like it. Because Tricks of the Trade had pretty much 100% uptime if you bought, like, Octarine and stuff. So he was unkillable while killing you. I love these new ways they're buffing heroes, like really creative ways. This makes a lot of sense because Blink Strike, you know, it does... The magic damage Blink Strike does happens way before the attack, and they should happen at about the same time now. I like it. Attack damage reduced, that's totally fine because it literally doubles your agility during it. Like, that breaks even once you level it up. It honestly, this probably ends up being a buff somehow. This is obviously a big buff. It doesn't seem like it, but it is. So I guess it's not obvious. Shard duration increased. Nice. No longer makes the target invulnerable. That's sad. That was a meme waiting to happen. Again, health regen talents are very sad, so give stats. 20 damage to 8% cloak and dagger movement speed while invisible. Love it. Blink Strike replenish time. That feels better. More mobile instead of more range when you do it. Smoke screen AoE. Nice. Shard throw range increased from 60% to 85%. That's increased throw range when you use it on yourself and allies. And cooldown of telekinesis in general reduced. That's nice. Telekinesis landing damage. That's cool. Lift duration. Oh my god. I love them doing this. Okay, Sand King. I love Sand King. Don't hurt him too much, please. Scepter caster introduced. Shard no longer triggers if there are no enemies nearby, and the radius is increased by a lot. I was buying Shard anyway. I think that thing is fucking amazing, and I love it, and, yeah, r/unpopular opinion. Yeah, I mean, I guess this just makes it less annoying. So if there's an enemy within 475, does this let you know if there are... Yeah, this can let you know if there are invis heroes around. Because if it triggers randomly, there's a hero, and then you dust. That's actually a really niche, cool way to do that. Caustic Finale Snow, huge, love it. Health regen talents are not sad when they're this much. Epicenter Pulses +1, love it. Intelligence way higher on Shadow Demon. 15% Shadow Poison damage at level 10. 10 Strength, it helps. Demonic Purge cooldown, you can't... Or sorry, Demonic Purge damage, you can't spam Demonic Purge on one target, but, you know, like to blow them the fuck up. Demonic Purge cooldown, yes. So... Demonic Purge has like a 60-second cooldown per charge with eggs. So... Yeah. Big Shadow Demon buffs. Talents way more impactful. Way higher intelligence. Cool. Shadow Fiend. Oh my god, they didn't! Okay. They couldn't have done a more impactful buff. A more impactful buff does not exist for Shadow Fiend. Base attack time. And base armor. Damn. He no longer has perfect turn rate. But he has the closest thing you'll get to it now. You lose fewer souls on death. And the shard is now no longer irrelevant. Presence of the Dark Lord also facilitates the magic damage build. In a meaningful way now. This is a really short but ridiculously impactful buff. 1.6 base attack time means you're going to get in dozens and dozens and dozens of more, maybe hundreds, more attacks in a game, depending on length. On a hero that gets this much damage, That is such a crazy buff. More impact from attack speed, higher base attack rate, so you can get more denies and shit in lane. You can contest more because you have more armor. If you die, it's less of a big deal. This is the cream of the crop for Shadow Fiend buffs. Could not be better. I love Shadow Fiend, but this might make me play mid, honestly. Serpent Ward's attack range, sure. Sure. Fine. Silencer needs help. Mana cost reduced. That helps. That's help. That qualifies. Damage of Arcane Curse reduced. That's not help. No longer pauses damage when the debuff duration is delayed. I guess that's a bug fix. But a significant one, so they reduce the damage to compensate. Shard damage behavior fixed. Was reducing non-glaives damage to the secondary target too much. Okay, so this might be enough, especially now that the literal silencer item has Witchblade has True Strike on the attack. Silencer might be a hero now. It's not clear. Also more armor, sure. Oh god, do they want Scarif to be mid? Base damage is dangerous. Okay, rework Shard upgrade. Every time you cast abilities, you gain +5 intelligence and +1 armor for 35 seconds, stacks independently. Stacks independently? So all the stacks don't fall off at once? Skywrath is a mid. Skywrath's biggest problem is armor. He doesn't have other problems. He can last hit better in lane. Concussive Shot is a really good ability and it has a lower cooldown early, so you can max out the Arcane Bolt. It has lower damage multiplier, but you're getting so much int. So much int. And the base damage was increased. They didn't even have to do that. More health instead of more movement speed. He does not need movement speed. Mystic Flare damage, I don't think you take that, but this is insane. It's not insane changes, but this shard enables the possibility of Skywrath mid. This is not good on supports. They're not going to have the raw stats to make the armor significant. This is them trying to make Skywrath mid work. It may not work this patch, but it will work sometime. This is an insane direction. It's not even these changes are so crazy. I think this is crazy. Especially because it stacks independently, so... I mean, is it dispellable? Are the stacks dispellable? Okay, this isn't quite in the build yet. Oh, this is incorrect when it says cast Arcane Bolt, a different... yeah. That's fine. Yeah, Skywrath, they're trying to make a mid. And it might work, like, immediately. Okay. Sprint no longer unlocks max movement speed. F. River speed rescaled. Okay, they have to be buffing him significantly. Now, Shard applies the debuff before the damage. Cool, so that... I see. Okay. Do they actually want Slardar to be a carry? Is this what they want? They made Guardian Sprint 25% river speed bonus flat. So it's a better value point than it was. The Slytherin Crush, this here applies Corrosive Haze for 5 seconds. It's not super significant, but it is significant. It now increases the damage of the Slytherin Crush itself, and it increases the radius of Slytherin Crush by 25%. Oh no, not quite. Less than 25%, not that much. I've always liked this Ags. This Scepter. I've been calling it Ags for so long, it's hard to get used to there being two things that are called Ags. I'm just going to call this Ags and this Shard. That's generally what I do. Deals double damage against creeps. That is a really big buff. Slardar can actually farm. It's not AoE, it's not crazy significant, but 1 point of Bash of the Deep lets you secure ranged creeps twice as effectively as before. Regen is actually fine on Slardar. He tanks a lot, his health can go far. And speaking of more health, double damage against creeps. Well, I'm playing Slardar again, and he might be close. No, he's not going to be a pause one. This is just a really big change. It's really nice. It helps him get way more farm over the course of the game, like way more. It also encourages attack speed a little bit more. Yeah, that's cool. Reworked shard upgrade. Thank you. The fish was a meme. Grants depth shroud. Creates a 300 AoE cloud at the target location for 3 seconds. All allies inside the radius are hidden as the ult. That's cool. And have increased regeneration movement speed. So it's the ult in a set location, and it affects allies. Wow. That's a shard. See, they tried to do the thing with Shadow Dance being just a straight up AoE around you a while back, but Slark doesn't necessarily want to be where his team is. You can put this down, and it obviously affects you. It helps you a lot. It probably costs too much mana for Slark, but that's another issue. This can be very good. This feels like a more permanent ability than the last one, which was literally a meme. So, I'm happy with this. It's cool. Double damage. Double damage against creeps. I can't get over that. That's crazy. Okay, big Snapfire changes. Base armor, nice. Intelligence, base intelligence. Damage increase later. Mana cost massively reduced. Armor reduction, duration increased. Being able to reduce the armor of towers is nice. Shard stun increased, cool. Jump distance reduced. That might be a buff, actually. I don't know. It might have been that you jumped too far. I knew it was often the case that if you used it from a certain common distance, you would go to the other side of a hero very slightly, and you'd have to turn around, which takes time, and then attack them, and this might mitigate that possibility. It has a big radius, so the jump distance doesn't need to be that high. I think this might be a buff. It's obviously not a buff to the numbers, but I think it might be a functional buff in a lot of situations. Cooldown reduced is obviously a big buff, because this is a crazy ability. Scatter Blast damage, cool. Sniper, please. Oh, active reworked! Oh my god, okay. No longer gives double range for an attack, now lasts 4 seconds and grants you True Strike. Okay, there was a time where I suggested, I sent like 10 paragraphs, probably more, probably several pages, lots of pages, on like 12-point times New Roman and Google Docs. Like, I sent Valve on like their suggestions to the Dota team, and I'm not saying that this is something I suggested, but it's very similar to something I suggested. I suggested different modes of attacking for Sniper. And one of the things I suggested is moving slower and giving some benefit on attacks. This is really close to what I was suggesting. He doesn't need more attack. Like, this was so sad. Double the range for an attack. Now lasts 4 seconds to grant you True Strike the whole time and 30% headshot chance. 30% slower. That's big. Now knocks Sniper back 450 units away from the target direction as well. And even more shrapnel. Sniper is a hero. He may not be good yet. He might be now, but he may not be good yet. However, this makes the shard viable. It not only knocks them back when you aim it right, it also knocks you back, which is a lot of the goal. And it grants you True Strike. Like, this is built in. He has True Strike. He always should have had True Strike. He's called Sniper. Drow is called Drow Ranger. And you're telling me that Drow Ranger is more accurate than Sniper. No longer. True Strike. The only hero with built-in True Strike. Like this consistently. Sniper fucks PA now. No one ever said Sniper did bad damage. No one's ever said that. Sniper's damage has always been respectable. He's always been scary if you couldn't jump on him. He's won tons of games, probably at high levels, in games where you couldn't jump on him. He just runs away with the game. Even when he would run away with the game, though, he was still very killable. He's very squishy, he's slow, he has no mobility. This just helps. This actually helps him at what he was already good at. And they're helping in other ways, like this. It could be that you build Swift Blink on Sniper and just fucking leave, and then you do this, turn around, and blender people. 30% headshot chance. This is really cool. Okay. Base armor of Spectre increased by 1. They increase the damage of Desolate. They reduce the cast range of Spectral Dagger. They reduce the cooldown of Shadow Step. Still not the mana cost. Shard can now target any enemy hero that damaged you in the last 8 seconds. Can ground target to find the closest valid target. And the mana cost reduced. Thank you. This is viable now. Yeah, I wanted more damage and maybe less survivability if they wanted to penalize it, but they actually increased survivability. Spectre's a little bit better now. But PA is better because of them reducing the mana cost of the break, which makes Spectre worse. I don't know. We'll see. SB, cast time reduced. That's big. That'll matter a lot, because you use Nether Strike literally every fight. It'll matter a little bit in a lot of situations, so it'll matter a lot. Electric Rave Shard upgrade is now an active on overload instead of a dedicated hotkey. Thank you. Travel speed reduced. Well, increased early, decreased later. Bounce talent is no longer applied to allies that have the shard buff. Only Storm Spirit benefits from it now. Fair. Bounce talent now causes the secondary attacks to do 75 instead of 100% damage. Fair. Overload damage to health. Thank you. He gets attack speed. Nice. Earlier is always better for this. Static Remnant cooldown. Really big. Distance. Auto remnants. You get more remnants. It might be the same number of remnants. I don't know. There's some correlation between this change and this change. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, you get more remnants. Shard now also reduces cooldown by 4 seconds. Scepter cast range reduced. Thank you. Damage increased to round numbers. Nice. 15 attack speed. That's dangerous. 7 strength to Warcry duration. Cool. Plus 25% Great Cleave. More stun duration, and instead of Stormhammer cooldown being here, it is 10 Warcry armor. These are big buffs to Sven. He's probably a hero again. Techies, movement speed increased. Cast time improved for remote lines. That will matter a lot. Can no longer be placed in fountain areas. That's fair. I didn't even think about that. Shard cast range reduced. Shard radius increased. Wow. So the damage rate, yeah, it's not even a small radius in the middle. It's just straight up the whole radius stuns. Cool. Those are all big. I need to drink water. Okay. Meld. Mana cost reduced substantially. Damage increased substantially. Cooldown increased substantially. This is a big buff. Shard silence duration. That's fair. It was too long for no charge time. Charge increases vision radius. That's cool. Cast range reduced. I don't care. Scepter mana cost reduced. Again. Scepter cooldown reduced. Again. Yeah, this is getting to ridiculous territory. People just have to figure it out. Sideblade's range. Nice. Psionic trap damage. Sure. Refraction instances. Cool. Oh god, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay. 1 base HP regen. 4 base damage. 2 less base armor. Okay. So he has 9 base armor now, which is still a lot. But it's not so much that it's completely ridiculous in lane. It's still ridiculous. He has HP regen as well now. Okay. He's stronger against magic damage, notably, which is one of his problems. Attack damage bonus reduced. That's significant. Attack range bonus reduced. Okay, they just want Meadow to be worse in lane. Illusion damage from reflection increased substantially. Slow rescaled so it's lower early and higher later. Duration is always 5 seconds. Cooldown is increased early. And mana cost is reduced. Wow. A lot of mana cost reductions. Okay, Tide. Gosh, mana cost is lower at max level. And higher early. Okay. Timber base armor increased. Careful. Duration of reactive armor stacks. That's a big nerf. Especially the region early. Because now you have to put more points in it to survive. Cast range of this reduced. Doesn't matter. Travel speed increased. That's actually a significant buff. Cardinal ignores ancients and now affects buildings for 40% damage. Okay. Timber can now actually melt buildings. Literally. Wow, that's a huge buff. You buy Shard every game now, and you can actually push his Timber Saw. He's never been able to do that. That's crazy. And you know what they say? The, heroes become OP when you give them a capability they didn't have at all before. Like, Undying became OP, when they gave him movement speed on his ult. That wasn't the only change, but it really pushed him over the edge. Whirling Death has lower duration early. Scepter DPS increased by 20. Plus 6 reactive armor stacks and duration. Okay. This is an astronomical Timber buff, especially Shard affects buildings. Because it's like 75 DPS to buildings. Only 40% of it, but like he couldn't hit buildings at all. This helps a lot. It's great. Tinker. Tinker's been a meme for a little bit. Shard status resistance increased. That's big. Shard health increase. Okay. Shard duration. Okay. Yeah. Defense matrix is now way better. Laser current health reduction reduced. That's fine. Cast point is 0. So there's no delay before you start rearming at all. That's terrifying. Mana cost increased. That's fair. Channel time increased. Later. Okay, so it's the same. Technically it's 0.03 seconds shorter, but come on. Mana cost of this reduced. That's dangerous. Mana loss reduction. He's the only person who has this. +1 heat-seeking missile. That's big. Okay, Tiny. Tony, what are they doing to my boy Tony? More HP regen. Shard upgrade now causes tree grab to have no charge limit. Cool. Mana cost reduced of tree grab. Bro armor isn't too higher. Tree volley, cast range reduced. Cast range of the throwing the tree reduced. Cost, cast range reduced. Except early. 10 strength. Movement speed. 5 tree grab attack charges to tree grab unit damage bonus. That's cool. 15% status resist as a talent. Okay, that's crazy. Shard now also grants invisibility near trees. So they're removing it as a talent. Mana cost of this reduced. That's so huge. It's so expensive. Okay, cast time reduced. Yeah, you cast Living Armor a lot. That matters. More mana regen. Wow. That's huge. Nature's Grasp cooldown. I like it. I like that. Nature's Grasp damage. They rounded it off. Yeah, removing all the tiny cooldown reduction talents. Living Armor, bonus armor. 8. Okay. And then this now works on creeps, so he's a pushing god. Great. Troll buffs. Whirling axes, ranged. Okay, no, it might be all nerfs. These are nerfs, not that big of a deal, but again, Troll has the lowest int in the game, so. Reworked Shard upgrade grants Rampage, globally causes all allied heroes to have 70 attack speed and 25% status resistance based on ranged or melee. That's really cool. I love that. It's just an extra ability. You can give them either attack speed or status resistance. That's really cool. You can use that on cooldown. You just have to have more mana. And he's building Battle Fury, so. Bonus armor reduced early, increased later. Movement speed of battle trance reduced, that's fair. More health, less agi. Fair. Tusk. Less base regen. Walrus Punch now does the attack on animation 40% faster. Okay, cool. Tag team damage reduced by literally 5. Cast range reduced. They're doing that a lot. Cast range reduced. Mana cost reduced. That's nice. Card no longer reduces attack speed. Attacks destroy way higher. Vision radius increased. Movement speed increased. Mana cost reduced and slow increased. That's a buff. It's a big buff. Okay. I love Underlord so much. No one seems to, but I love him. Attack range increased to 200. I'm happy. Radius rescaled. So it's just straight up lower. Shard no longer provides healing. But it now also increases the Firestorm wave count by 3. A lot of Firestorm. Scepter now also increases radius by 50%. But it doesn't reduce cooldown. But it has 2 charges. Underlord is back. 900 radius means you will not miss allies anymore with that. Wave count to 125 radius, that's more than we lost by a lot. Attack speed increased. 40% atrophy allied hero bonus. That used to be an Ags. My boy Underlord is back. I love him so much. I love Dark Rift. It's one of the coolest abilities in the game to me. It's better relocate on a longer cooldown. It's not that simple, but you know. Dark Rift is great. I love it. 2 charges. 2 charges is better designed than reduced cooldown because you couldn't use it that often, reasonably. 2 charges, you can always feel good if you just have it 1 charge ticking down. So you just use Dark Rift. You don't have to save it. You always have one. Firestorm building damage was never taken, and when it wasn't significant, so that's fine. And this will be way more building damage anyway. I used to take Ags to clinch games because it was so much damage. Like, you just push. Agi gain on Undying is now higher than Skywrath. Mana cost reduced by a lot. That's a lot for Undying. Now deals double damage to creeps. Okay. That's cool. It doesn't do very much damage at all. Mostly in the strength reduction. But it did pretty much nothing to creeps, so it now does 220 okay. That is non-zero. Illusions no longer play the debuff, that's fair. Decay to rush into... Oh, wow, 5 armor is huge. Tombstone cooldown. Alright, I love this. This is great. Double damage to creeps. The Dota team is getting better and better. They're getting way more creative with changes like this. Ags increases radius. So cool. Okay, sorry. Shard upgrade now causes Earthshock to apply 1.5 seconds of enrage. Reduces cooldown. That's not okay. He has enraged 25% of the time, not counting the ult. Enrage status. Okay. Fuck her, Simon. Okay. Venge. Venge needs help. Base damage, a lot better. Movement speed increased by 5. Illusion, movement speed reduced. They didn't buff that more. I guess they don't know what to do with it. Okay. Radius of Wave of Terror increased. That's really nice. Shard, damage deal reduced to 20%. Why? Shard now also steals 20% of the enemy base armor. Okay. Wow. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Plus 10 agility. Minus 2 Wave of Terror armor. 15 seconds Nether Salt cooldown. Doesn't have 2 charges. Oh, there's no cooldown at all, though. Wow. This is not enough. I like the shard. This scepter needed way more buffs. Because you literally just like the enemy team just stays near the illusion and waits for you to respawn and then kills you. That's the main problem. It would be really good if you could choose, if you could like toggle Vengeance Aura, to not swap. Like you have the option not to swap. If you have the option not to swap, that would be genuinely a really good scepter. But because you can't, yeah. Volvo, listen, please make that change and the eggs will work. It's the only change needed. Benno, whoa, that's a pretty big increase. Average 43 to average 45.5. Matters. Reduced slow, increased radius on Poison Nova, and increased duration. That's, I mean, he's a one-button wonder. Not really, but it's a pretty good button. 100 attack range, okay. Plague Word, cooldown. Spell lifesteal, okay. The poison things, yeah, that's fine. This is pretty insignificant. The most significant is the radius and the duration. I like that. It's cool. Okay, Viper. Mana cost, lower early, higher later. Shard armor reduction reduced, that's fair. Shard now also causes it to affect buildings for 40% poison damage. Oh my god! Okay. I have a whole story for this. Not really. It's not that long. Mana cost reduced, that's really good. Okay. I always took poison attack effects buildings. Every time. Because I knew that if you take poison attack effects buildings, and you're near their base, you end the game in one team fight lost. Straight up end it. Now, you can get that ability at 20 minutes, and although it's less significant overall, you can apply in one item, you can lower armor, have 3 more stacks, and affect buildings with magic damage that is this high. And also reduce magic resistance, so it's even higher, and it increases stuff like Dragon Knight's magic damage to buildings, Jakiro's, and so on. That is an amazing change. Viper is literally twice as good as he was before. Or the Shard, not Viper. The Shard is literally twice as good as it was before. Plus 5 corrosive skin stats. Oh, I liked that one. 300 health. 2x corrosive skin slow and resistance. I didn't even read that. That's a lot of slow. 64. And 50% magic resistance. He is anti-mage now. That's actually crazy. I love this change. I love playing Viper. I might actually become a mid player at this point. Visage. Attack animation improved. Base armor increased. Purge and some other people were saying that this doesn't make a difference. It only matters for worse players. That's not true. This particular change is literally almost a non-existent amount of difference, but they've reduced attack animation substantially before. It does make a difference. Not just for bad players. That's just wrong, objectively. Base armor increased. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have any armor. Mana cost reduced. And Soul Assumption. You spam the shit out of Soul Assumption. That's a lot of mana saved. Shard mana cost, that's a lot of mana saved too. Shard heal increased. Okay. Grave Chill cooldown is way better than cast range, but they're removing all the cast range, so it makes sense. Okay. Shard damage increase. The Shard was already good, but now it's a lot better. Cast range reduced, that's fine. Cast range reduced. Less fine, but not by that much. And they improved the replenish time. Yeah, they nerfed this too much. Mana cost increased, that's fair. He builds lots of mana anyway. Cooldown increased, fair. And they nerfed the charge restore time talent again. That's fine. Lots of Warlock changes. Shadow Word, Shard, movement speed and slow reduced. That's sad. Oh, Shard now makes it an AoE spell. So it's not a talent anymore. That talent was the best talent. Straight up, it was just the best talent at level 20. Nothing they could have put against it would have been comparable. 450 AoE is an insane Shard. It was pretty good before, when you got that, was like, oh yeah, that'll be really good once you get level 20. But, yeah, you buy that every game. That is fucking crazy. Okay, cast time for upheaval. AoE reduce, that's fine. Slow cap. Lower early, but it goes up to 100%, so they'll be at 100 speed. Slow per second. That's way better at level 1. That's nice. Alan loves putting up value points in. Duration, that's fine. You can still get to max slow in no time at all. Okay. Scepter spawn interval. It stuns for 0.2 seconds each golem, so they're actually just stunned for the full interval instead of there being a gap. Egg offering golem movement speed. That's a cool talent. Shadow Word cooldown. Way better talent now, because it doesn't take 2 talents to activate. Upheaval DPS. Oh my god, Upheaval can cancel Blink? That's crazy. This is not that much damage, but it will matter. It's, what, 640 damage in an AoE over the 16 seconds? Yeah, it feels better. Shadow Word, heal and damage, yeah, you take that. Almost certainly. No longer unlocks maximum speed, now moves at haste speed always. Fair. They played with that for a while. That's fine. Swarm armor reduction, that's crazy. That's so much... 0.2 at 10 is so much better than 0.4 at 20. 35 damage, that's cool. Swarm attacks to kill to +3, that was too good, that's fair. 2 Shikuchi charges? Oh my god, that's really good. I like that. He's officially harder to catch than Puck now. Notably, he still can't be slowed while in Shikuchi. Does Shikuchi have 100% uptime now? That's dumb. Okay. Shackle Shot mana cost reduced. Shard now also reduces cooldown by 1.5 seconds. Kill threshold no longer scales based on power shot channel, that's fair. Scepter no longer unlocks max movement speed. Now passively provides 30% evasion. And it just straight up provides haste. So you can't be slowed. That's cool. Passively provides 30% evasion. 2 charges. I'm just gonna say Windrun and Scurry are now way fucking more similar than they were before. Just saying. Windrun became better Scurry if you have Ags. Almost at the end here. Wyvern, more base armor. She still struggles in lane. That is a big change. 50 was way too long. Now ends if there are no enemies in the air for 2.5 seconds. Fine. Cooldown reduced. Duration increased. I mean, you can't use this as a single target disable anymore, so they reduced the cooldown. Well, not for as long. Duration increased. Curse radius increased. Attack speed bonus increased. Shard no longer increases Splinter Blast damage by +5, but it reduces cooldown by 5 seconds on Cold Embrace. That's way better. Cold Embrace percent heal at level 10, 1.5%. And then 100 Splinter Blast damage at 20. Cool. Hero Cask damage increased. Oh god. Health, cool. Maledict AoE. Yeah, make more people that weren't taking it before take it now. Max health, Voodoo Restoration, they rounded it off. Wraith King. Oh, that's way better than this. 25 moon speed and strength. Okay, cool. Zeus, base armor increased by 1. Shard cooldown reduced. Movement speed, 50% spell lifesteal. Yeah, no one was taking the cast range. There are now no cast range talents, but yeah, no one was taking the cast range. He built Octarine anyway. And 50% spell lifesteal. That is actually a contender against the massive damage on the Q. Okay. Okay, cool. There's so many changes. I gave you my thoughts as we were going. I'm going to go back to some of the item stuff. So many hero changes. The Mjolnir change is really big. Lots of item builds are changing. A lot more heroes are going to build Aether Lens. and movement speed. I love this change. There's no more give Tango toxicity. Because, you know, I have no problem giving Tangos as a support, but it just felt bad. And now they have to buy their own fucking Tangos. Like everyone has wanted them to for years. This is a big Meteor Hammer buff. I still think you buy Meteor Hammer on OD. Alright, let's go ahead and open the game. I want to check out some of the changes. Okay. I'm a Jenkins Patreon supporter. I recommend you guys go do that because he has great tier lists. These are now obsolete. But, okay. First things first. I'm going to take this off of Plus Assistant because, Dawnbreaker won't be in it yet.
Valora, the Dawnbreaker!
Okay. Yeah, the base damage is overtuned. That's fine though, not a big deal.
Not many things could make me say this, but how degrading. I'm ready for anything.
Let's see how the animation feels and stuff.
Crumble!
Oh, that is the most satisfying attack in the game. Holy shit. Satisfaction levels have peaked. That feels so good. Also, this is an offlane. More likely,
Change the horizon.
if I had to guess.
Respectable gains.
Good health regen, good mana regen. That's probably going to get slightly nerfed. There is a slight delay on the damage after you, it seems like the hammer hits.
Abhorrent creature.
Okay,
I'll never tire.
let's see what should be taken first. Probably...
Darkness flees before me.
How much do these cost? 110.80. Okay, probably this.
Some things I
This is level 1, of course. Yeah, that could be crazy for farming.
don't waste the day.
Wait.
Filled with the energy of forgotten stars.
Oh my god, Starbreaker enables Luminosity. It counts as the 3 attacks. You don't need attack speed. Does this need more levels? Smash stun duration. Oh my god, this fully enables the passive. Using this fully, it makes the passive happen. I guess you need to build raw damage. Which is kind of... I'm actually feeling Radiance. Like, let's... Oh right, talents. Right, +2. Okay, we need to figure that out. Movement speed. Solar Guardian cooldown. This is 5 healing, right? Or no, they heal for 35% of the amount. It says 35% and then 40%. I don't know. Go with this. Starbreaker charges. Luminosity crit. Probably more crit. Solar Guardian radius. Celestial Hammer cast range. How's the cast range? It's already good, right? Oh, that's so cool.
I'm like a solar flare. To earn my place anew.
Wow. And then, yeah, Solar Guardian radius. And then... So I can choose... How do I take the +2 to all attributes? Oh, I guess no, it just happened, right?
I've waited millennia to stretch my legs.
Millennia? It's a long time.
I
Okay. I actually feel radiance because
like a warm blanket. One would think.
Starbreaker enables... Yeah, Starbreaker enables the 3-hit combo. You don't need attack speed. That's actually so insane. Alright, let's see.
The sky moves behind us. Now, let Daybreaker light the sky. I bear the light to the first stars. I respect
Oh, that is so metal.
my blade right. You should never have stepped onto a battlefield against me.
That is very cool. Oh,
I save this means of
okay, so
time.
quick casting, Oh, you have to teleport to an ally.
Yes.
350 units of an allied hero.
With
You can use it on yourself. Got it.
step into the light.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Let fire light the sky.
Let's just reduce the volume a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, she's an offlane. I feel radiance because, first of all, it's on brand. Second of all, Starbreaker completely enables luminosity, which is insane. And, yeah, Celestial Hammer is a good initiation. Yeah, I like Dawnbreaker. She's cool. She's cool. Let me go to this real quick. Okay. So, here's the thing.
Be a hero. Ooh, is
What?
this the video from before?
Whoops. Alright. Oh god, all the windows are going crazy. Yeah, I had the Purge tries new Dota 2 tutorial video I hadn't seen open on the other monitor. Okay. So, one of the things that I want to see, I'm not going to check everything, but, you know, I've got to see my boy Jakiro. I'm probably going to wrap this up pretty soon. But my boy Jakiro, my love.
Another thrilling match awaits.
So you get +2 all stats at 15. No? Oh, sorry. 17? Yeah, 17. 19, 21. Yeah, okay, got it. I really like getting the attack range, then this. Put everything in here. Oh, they changed the UI. The level up abilities, light is a little different. Yep, this one. Okay. So, Liquid Frost is insane. I'll show you what it does to buildings. In case you haven't seen it, it's dumb. Actually ridiculous. Oh right. I need to test the double damage. That's cool.
Yes.
I don't even have X yet. Oh god, it's beautiful. Wow. Alright. Well, I just wanted to see Jakiro. There are so many changes. You guys should, I encourage you to go and check out some of the changes yourself. And yeah, this patch is crazy. I love a lot about it. And yeah.
Short legs, you know? Drawn from deep within. A charming.
Alright. Alright. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you got this far. Please leave the video a like, leave a subscribe. It'll help me a lot. I'm in such a growth stage on the channel. And yeah, please share it, comment if you have something to say. I would really appreciate feedback or anything you guys noticed that I didn't, any way you disagree or agree. Whatever it is, leave comments, share, like, subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy playing. Peace.